Hello, hello, and welcome to Long Time No See. We're live again this Monday answering the question, how does everyone having a camera shape our experience? We're going to start in with a listener, and happy Monday. My co-host Wes couldn't make it because he's watching the Miami game. I think he'll call in blackout drunk is my guess.
Oh, the national championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
So big night, go Miami, or whoever you're rooting for. Voter, we're starting with our first caller.
Hey, this is Liam calling from Boston, Massachusetts. And yeah, the question is, how does everyone having a camera shape our experience? Well, I can remember, because I'm old enough now, that there was a time before the smartphone age where, you would have to have a disposable or, conventional digital camera at your disposal to, take shots of nature, architecture, people, right? But I do think that the adoption of smartphones into the everyday lifestyle has certainly changed how people operate in public. I mean, you go to concerts, you see people just doing full video recordings, posting on social media, and it's kind of sad sometimes. You would hope that people would spend all this money and time to get to a place to enjoy some entertainment in person, but, instead of using their eyes and ears, all they're doing is looking through a lens, essentially, to experience it. And let's be honest, how many people actually go back and look at their concert videos, right? It's definitely not the most productive use of time, but yeah, I just think that I think the access to having cameras on us just has an impact on how we are navigating and how we're operating in the real world. And certainly see it a lot taking the public transit, on trains. Everyone's on their phones, posting stuff, taking pictures of themselves, and it's I feel like it also contributes to a little bit of isolation, right? When people aren't aware and attentive to their environments, they tend not to be fully aware. So it's unfortunate, but I do think the access has definitely been easier in the last few years, and people are using their cameras more now than ever. But I don't know if what they're actually capturing really has the same weight as having a real in-person experience without any screens or cameras. So it's just a different world we live in, but yeah.
All right, thanks for calling in, Liam from Boston. Malcolm, would love to hear your take.
I feel like I agree that everyone having a camera kind of is bad, but it kind of sounds like he's like works at a concert venue and he's like
Totally.
fucking sick of like seeing people. Like his whole reasoning is like, because people are at these concerts, he's like, they're not watching the videos, like, which is true. I've always thought that, like, my girlfriend just has so many videos from past concerts, and I'm you never watch these. You're never gonna go back and be just like, I don't know. Do you guys film at concerts?
I feel like I take like one video and then it's in my pocket, and I'm like, I know I will never watch that again.
Yeah.
But it feels good to be like, proof. All right, I'm done.
Which is the whole thing. Like, that's like, we feel the need to like post it and tell everyone like, yo, I'm at this Playboy Cardi concert or whatever, and click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at that concert. I feel like I am this guy, but I don't say it out loud. Now that I heard it, I'm like, that's kind of
Where I
maybe I
stand.
need to
Yeah.
calm down.
Well, I feel like we've seen so many. I feel like you're seeing way more concerts now show up that are phone-free experiences. I feel like we've seen it in comedy clubs, which I get more because you're like, I'm trying to like keep what I'm working on under wraps, so I don't want to just let this rip wherever. But with concerts, I think it's more about just like being present in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think the phone is just so distracting that even though like inherently you're like, oh, I'm just using it for a photo, it's so easy to get like whisked away by your phone.
Yeah.
Because you pull it out, you take the video, and then it's just like, oh, text, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. And so then all of a sudden you're on your phone again.
First of all, I want to know what cell phone plan you have. That might have been the longest voicemail I've ever heard. I was like, that man got into 3 chapters of thought. he had an opportunity to be like, but I digress. It's like
Yeah.
I've never digressed.
He
on
was not
voicemail.
digressing.
He's digressing voice.
You know what I mean? You know what? The thing I think about when I think of concerts is like the difference between watching like a Travis Scott, like footage of him coming on stage, but then like contrast that with some old videos of like Michael Jackson coming on stage and people like passing out and like losing their minds, like having to be carried off or like picked
But I
up.
feel like
and-
if
Yeah.
you're on your phone, you're not getting carried off.
that's the point.
You're,
That's
out
what-
of, you're just out of. You've stepped out of the experience.
they were so present that the idea of seeing Michael Jackson legitimately took their breath away. Like they lost consciousness. And
Big
now
shouts
we're-
out to Adam Ray Comedy, who's tuned in right now. Let us know what you think. He's with Mandy watching on Edibles. And call me and let us know what you guys think.
and now it's like when someone's coming out for a concert, it's like you look around and it's like all phones. No one's
What
like
about-
there to.
What about sports games? Like I've been recently going to Dodgers games. Every time Shohei Ohtani gets up to the plate, everyone is just watching it through their phone. And I was filming when he hit a home run, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like now I have a video of Shohei Ohtani hitting a home run, and I feel like I enjoy it more that I have the video
Yeah, totally.
than actually if I just watched it in person. I don't know why. I'm like, I have this rare video of him with
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That's
So
such a weird concept though, because it's like nobody actually watched him hit the ball or pitch
Yeah.
the ball. They're all watching the phone, just like they're always gonna watch. You never actually saw it in person anymore, you know.
Whatever you captured, someone has a clearer version.
of it.
Yeah.
Totally. And I think it goes back to just like we're so like fickle with our memory that like you don't trust it so much so that it feels good to capture it because you're like, nice, I can look back on this.
Or even just, I want other people to know that I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and also like Adam saying phones at concerts are fine, but you miss out. But sometimes I do watch the footage of the concert after. It's nice to have just like, you're just like reminiscing. That's like going out with friends or like a big night out. You're like,
Yeah.
let's really cement that we've got this.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, I don't know, I feel like I'm someone who is on the side of like forgets to take photos of things constantly.
Yeah.
And I feel like having a girlfriend helps with that because they're like, we should take a photo.
You got to document this.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
I
we gotta
feel.
get girlfriends.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're too single for this discussion.
I was gonna say, the ease of having a phone to take pictures all the time, like, kind of cheapens the value we put on it because, like, we're still in the infancy. Like, we think we've had cameras and whatever forever, but in like human history, it's a very short period of time we're finally learning what that's like to have the ease of taking a picture, right? So, when you went to, we're talking about big events right now, like a sporting event or a concert. And you used to be able to, you would take the big camcorder or like a real camera to document this. And those were really valuable pictures and videos because they were so specific and only for that time. But now that we have so much and like your phone is just full of pictures and videos.
They become like more meaningless.
I would like to ask, like, how often do you actually go back to rewatch this stuff? Like, how much stuff is being rewatched or just never looked at again in this gallery of, you know, slop?
Yeah.
My favorite like musicians, I absolutely go back and watch it
Oh, yeah?
quite often.
Yeah, I feel like I have one really good Tame Impala video I got, like when I went to go see them, and I love rewatching that video. I'm like, woo, remember that?
Yeah, I went to a PJ Morton concert and Herbie Hancock and Stevie Wonder popped out.
Oh, wow.
And it's just like, yeah, this will never happen.
Yeah, you're like, wow, I got this.
Yeah, which I guess I'm curious, like, what's the coolest thing you captured on your phone?
Ooh. I feel like it's meeting someone cool is like you get like the proof that you're like, oh, I'm here. Like I feel like I have videos from like a Tiny Mac DeMarco concert that I'm like, this is sick, or like even like I know like I feel like I have a video of like Chevy Chase walking by my parents in Chicago when we were out there for that, and I'm like, this is cool. This is like what a cool magical moment that I got to get
true.
with this. So I feel like we're blessed that everyone has cameras because like you can't like moments won't like slip away as easily just because you can get it. But I don't know. but I think also like I feel like I remember seeing my dad like dug up like a crazy old video of him when he was like a toddler with his like other cousins who've like passed away and like so much family like that's just not here anymore. And like watching that video, I was like, wow, this is incredible. Like I wish I had more footage of my grandparents to look back at. But I don't know if now everyone having a camera now kind of like destroys
That
like it's now so overabundant, it's lost its magic. And then also like, is it now so accessible that people are losing touch with like the moment because it's so easy to just pull your phone out?
Well, yeah. Another value thing on my end, like we used to print them out and put them in books, and you know, even my dad used to like really every year make a whole year book with little clippings, like what do you call it? I don't know. What's it called? Like crafting.
Like a scrapbook.
Yeah.
He's scrapbooking everybody, and it's a great thing. And we look back at it still, like now, and like after 2005, you can't do that because we stopped doing that. What happens if the cloud goes down? You lose your phone, whatever. You could lose these pictures. We need to print them out more.
Yeah.
I agree.
Photo albums are cool, but it's just like I do respect the generation of kids who like with a link have all their childhood.
Well, that is a weird thing that now, like any kid now, you can watch like every day of your childhood, which is so weird. Because like even for me, like I know my parents obviously have photos of me as a kid, but it is nowhere near how many photos people have of the kids now.
But it's I guess from I know of like when my grandmother passed away, we went to her house to go clean the car out. Hey.
Hey, this way.
We went to go clean her house out, and there were so many pictures in her like cupboards and stuff of people that we had no idea who they were.
She was just collecting.
We found a black and white picture that had to be from like early 1900s, and we have no idea.
This mystery person.
I mean, truly, like somebody's ancestors, like the key to all of their ancestry, like the key to everything they've ever wondered about themselves is at my grandmother's house, and we have no idea. So there is something to like the digital aspect of storytelling to it all, because like I know people who's like, oh, their family house burned down, gone, pictures are gone. Like there is something cool to just like have a document of like.
Yeah. Or like something that I'm like, not to get dark, but I've had a couple friends pass away, and I don't this would be fucked up to unfollow them on Instagram. But like friends that passed away like 12 years ago now, and I can still go to their Instagram and be like,
weird,
holy fuck, like.
Yeah.
So that's something that's pretty interesting. And also, like me and my cousins we had a camcorder, and we would make like fake SNL and horror movies. It's we still watch them and stuff, so that's pretty funny to like go back and watch those. And my great grandma, we only have one photo of like her family that they were all like killed during some war in Ukraine. But like we only have one photo of them, and they all kind of look a little Mongolian Ukrainian. So we're like, oh, like okay, that's the only evidence we have, like as far back as it goes, photos of them. So. I'm always like, what if they just never taken this photo? We would have no idea what the fuck they look like.
Totally.
If only they had an iPhone, man.
Yeah, we'd have way more photos.
They could have called for help.
All right, so here's my issue though. Going back to like big events, do I think cell phones can ruin big events and we don't experience them live? Maybe, but like now that I think back on like my childhood or things I grew up on, if cell phone footage of like Jordan's flu game. Or like when Rodman went to Vegas for those 48 hours. Yeah. If like some random footage of somebody being like, I documented all of that came out, I would lose it. Like that would be. Yeah.
But don't you think there's like an inherent magic in a moment existing in and of itself for no other purpose besides it just existing?
I think that.
And I think we have the cameras take that away from us. And I think that there's almost like because like I think there's an humongous, with everyone having cameras, it's almost a humongous invasion of privacy almost all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that like, especially with like celebrities, but even like goofing off, whatever. Like I feel like I was like, I don't know. I feel like there's so many moments where, especially as someone who used to drink a lot, partied pretty hard, like there's so many moments where I'm like, I don't know if I would have done this much if there were like people were using their cameras and phones to the degree that they are now.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't need a video of me like licking a wall, taking 10 shots, and then like doing the worm. You're like, that's a nightmare to have on film.
Yeah.
Would love to see it, honestly. Yeah.
I guess for the experience or the person in the moment, yeah, it takes away. But then it's also giving, like, if you found footage, like you said, of all this stuff, you'd be excited because it's like it's a catalog for the world of the history instead of just in our memories. Now we have a full display of what happened. It kind of keeps it alive for everyone else. But like
Correct.
for you as the person, it kind of it robs you a little bit of the magic.
I feel like also, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but for me, it stems from literally from the show Jackass. I feel like growing up, it was all about like, let's try to get the craziest shit on camera at all times. Put it on, because I grew up with the internet from when I can remember, and it's always been about going viral, like posting just crazy skate videos or just watching those guys blow up off of just doing crazy shit online. So I feel like anytime I see something crazy going on, I'm like, let me take out my fucking phone and film it. I have to film this. I have to document it. I have to get it on camera. No one's gonna believe it if I don't have a video of a guy falling on a bed of nails or something crazy.
I feel like we're just so like instinctively taught to, and I think that is Jackass was a humongous part of that. Like I feel like there was a huge like zone where it was like you want to get footage of the stupidest shit happening, but then I feel like now we don't allow for people to be stupid in peace or like, you know, on their own like accord. And now you're like, oh man, like I could do like think about like the Coldplay moment. That if no one had like cameras or anything, that would have just open, closed, done.
Yeah.
No one would have given a fuck
They could
ever.
have continued with infidelity to their
In
device.
'97,
Exactly.
they would have such a great night.
They could have had a wonderful evening.
Been at home with his family by 9:30. It would have been a great.
Speaking of like capturing stupid things of people, though, it's helped with law enforcement. I think, right? Like this is something that's saving a lot of people's lives, you know, and their, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you got to think like, I don't know, maybe it's making a world that's tougher because.
Well, are we now just living in a world of like constant surveillance?
Right. The way they act now is because they're being surveyed. You know? So that's, I don't know.
There is a. I didn't want to say this on here, but there is like a correlation or cause and effect between technology and civil rights that I absolutely. I think that technology at every single point, like from the civil rights movement to the 70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
is like, right. And there is something to like, you know, even in the civil rights movement, how much the country got angered from seeing pictures or videos from the walk from Selma to Montgomery and watching people get
It's
attacked.
real.
Yeah, like there's something about hearing a story and then something about watching it that makes it really real. I do think cell phone footage there are examples of like abuses of power that have been caught on camera
Absolutely.
that have
Abu
like that are
Ghraib,
directly
yeah.
connected to like public outrage that has changed policy.
Well, it's the like a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
And I think there's like so many moments in history that we are so lucky that someone got the photo. I mean, you think about like the George W. Bush photo where he's getting whispered to like in the classroom.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have the photo of the bullet going by truck. You're like, this is unbelievable that we got this.
Yeah.
Like clear moments in history. But I guess, okay, so this kind of on the same subject. What do you guys think about, I'm pro this. I think that the New York Times or whatever big magazine or newspaper for the next like jarring, horrible mass shooting at a school, I think they need to post the photos. because I think that we take it super lightly, and like we only hear about it, and
I'm
it's
just laughing
only
'cause it
it's
got, like, caught
only
on.
it's only around like the whole conversation revolves around the shooter and like who
Yeah.
they are and like the kids. But I'm like, if you saw the photos of in the classroom, I think there would be legislation pushed almost immediately.
You think so?
I don't think people could sit there and stomach looking at photos of shot kids and be like, yeah, we should keep this is everything right now is working just fine.
I almost feel like there are photos that exist of like, let's say Sandy Hook, and like the guy who's in charge of the NRA saw those photos and was like, I
Make
don't
sure
give a
they
fuck.
disappear. Yeah.
Like I don't give.
Yeah.
I feel like the people that do have, I feel like the people that do have power have seen photos and they're just like, but if you're right. If the citizens of the United States saw it,
It would be impossible not to confront.
kind of like, yeah.
I 100%
Yes.
agree with you, but there's an administration.
I know
and
what you're
people in
about to
charge
say.
that would not give a shit.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Do I think it would work to spark like emotion in the people for sure? I just don't think that the powers in charge now would.
But I don't know. We've had like various administrations from all sides in charge, and no one's done it.
Yeah.
But I think it's like taste. It's like you don't want to
Yeah.
put bodies of kids on the front page of a newspaper.
And you're saying not the picture of them like, oh, these are the victims. You mean like
No,
the
I
actual
mean like from
crime
in
scene
there, like
photos.
that day. But I think
What if it wasn't kids though? What if it was like the Aurora movie theater with like adults and shit? Do you think that's like, nah, it has to be the kids because that's what
I mean,
really
I
get
think
people?
so. I mean, I think absolutely. I think
Yeah.
I just think that
Yeah.
they are too. They're like scared to do it for obvious reasons, but I do think that like culturally, like I think the conversation would move a lot faster.
Yeah.
Because I think that like not seeing the photos, we're almost putting like a bubble wrap, like mirage, and like kind of going like this to what just happened.
Well, all right. So two things. One, I think my faith in that theory, I want to believe that.
Yeah.
I think my faith in that theory, everything after Rodney King is just like, I thought we were all seeing the same thing.
Yeah, that's
God
true.
no. Like at this point, I don't know
Where
that-
the line is.
You know what I'm saying? And then two, I love a good conspiracy theory. There's a part of me that wonders if a business model of the worst that can happen is what we sell benefits from that.
But see, okay, but then the other weird thing to me is that, but they aren't scared of showing horrible things on the news or a newspaper. Like, I feel like everyone got to see the video of Charlie Kirk get shot in the neck. Like, from like 360-degree
And why do you
angles.
think they allowed that, right? Because they want the sympathy from the video because it's striking.
Yes.
Same thing. Yeah.
Totally. And it's just like, I also think that it was just like, yeah, I don't know. Because I guess it'll just depend on the next shooting that happens, how many cameras are on it and captures how much. Because I think now it's kind of out of the hand. Like now we don't have to gatekeep it by a newspaper.
Yeah.
It could be kids on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't think big newspapers were posting the Charlie Kirk video.
Yeah,
I feel like it
it's
was
just
like
online,
independent
yeah.
journalists that were there and stuff that were able to post. So yeah,
Because I think the question for like legacy media, I guess, is like, what do we get from this? And them posting Charlie Kirk, they're like, oh, weird. This is Easter morning
Yeah,
for us.
uh-huh.
Like, this is like, let's put this out. But I think, I don't know. Like, yeah, I do think there's a lot of outrage for gun reform right now, though.
And it's so weird because I feel like I see there's so much outrage for gun reform, but I feel like I'm not seeing those like horrifying videos anywhere. Because I mean, especially you think about something like Gaza, and you're like, I saw so much horrible, insane stuff, but how am I not seeing anything from here? And it's like we're having like pretty big like there's shootings very consistently
All the time.
all the time. So it's like, why aren't we letting that out? But I don't know if that's just like insane
they censor everything. online.
censorship where they're
Dude,
like,
so
that's not
much.
cool. We don't
Yeah.
get like that doesn't fly with us. This will get flagged.
We got antiquated censorship rules, based on a world that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
Like, who are they protecting? Why are they doing it? Why censor?
totally.
Twitter, I feel like, is like the only place you can go to watch a Charlie Kirk type of video
Totally.
to get like the real, like, if I'm ever like, what's really going on, like, let me see the video of this, I'll go to Twitter and type it in. But if you even like have a Nerf gun in a video on TikTok, like like they
You're
will.
good. Unalive.
Yeah.
You're unalive for that post.
I know life has gotten a lot of action since TikTok.
Yeah.
New word.
It's tough.
Yeah, YouTube is like really tough on graphic stuff now. Yeah, I guess I never thought about it like that. We do, yeah, man. What y'all doing after this?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just feel like there's no.
let's go record something and
There's
see
just
if
like
it works.
it feels like in a world where everything's getting captured and you can see pretty much anything online.
Yeah, it's weird.
It seems that it feels weird that we get really touchy right there, and are
It
like
is.
we shouldn't let this out.
a lot of people.
But
don't.
I get it though, because you're like preserving the idea of like American idealism, and you're like, I don't want us to look like a country that just like mows over kids with semi-automatic rifles, and it's like, we are though.
But you only promote what you benefit from. So like the only crime that they're really promoting right now is so that they can benefit from looking down on minorities, trying to sell this whole like we have dangerous people in your neighborhoods, we need to get them out. It's like there aren't really any bipartisan storytellers to be like, this is what's going on. It's really all spin, to be honest.
Well, you know what, and you know what I actually think is who's doing great journalism is Andrew Callaghan and the Channel 5 stuff.
Oh yeah, he's great.
The
I
All
haven't seen
Gas
as
No
much.
Brakes kid.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of goofy that his channel started off as such a goofy,
Yeah.
fun, weird thing, and has divulged into like a really incredible like.
Nick Shirley was on, and he like cooked him, and then he had
Totally,
Joe Biden's
yeah,
son.
Hunter Biden on.
Yeah.
But it's just like this is what real journalism should look like. Like, especially now that we have so much access to like everything, everybody, all spaces. It's like we should be like digging and like talking to people on the ground and like telling those stories. And so, and I think that's in a good way. I think that everyone having a camera is great. Because you're like, okay, well then now we can be telling stories from any which direction.
Truly, like, hey, is Flint doing better?
Exactly.
It doesn't seem like anybody's like reporting or, hey, there are like 10 other cities exactly like Flint. Does anybody want to talk about that? Like, what's going on locally? What's happening in like Memphis and New Orleans? And has the price of eggs gone down since the election? It's like stuff like that where it's like we reach these like really high moments of virality, and then the question is like where we kind of do depend on Twitter at this point to be like, hey, can someone, let's hear the stories that nobody's telling.
Like from all different directions. on
Yeah.
this, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I remember this happened in the Bay quite some time ago, but I remember, I think I want to say it was the Bay Bridge, but I'm not sure. But there was a shooting on it. It was like a kid on a bike, and like they like unloaded on the kid. Didn't have a weapon, no nothing, just whatever. And
Cops.
yes, and so they had like
Thanks for
it
clicking.
I didn't
completely.
know.
Yeah, sorry. And they had the freeway stopped, and then everything resumed back to normal, whatever. And a journalist found people who were on the bridge or whatever to talk about it because nothing really came about. Like there was no like mass movements. Like we need to like this is fucked, whatever. Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And this journalist talked to the people who were like sitting in traffic and saw it. And the number one thing they were getting back was like, they're like, why haven't you like talked about this or anything? And they're like, I didn't see it in the news or anywhere, so I just figured like the police can kind of do whatever they want. And like, I just
That's a good point. Like, if there's not press coverage of the thing, people don't think it's a thing.
it's
to
nothing.
look at. You know,
You're
Yeah,
like,
right,
this
exactly.
doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, what about that app? I always would download it, and then like the civilian app.
Oh,
or
Citizen.
whatever, Citizen app, where people, and sometimes it was kind of like what's going on, and you can watch people right there
Yes,
filming
totally.
a document. I think that's a great app.
That was sick. I feel like I've had so much fun. I feel like especially like I used to live in like deep Hollywood, and I remember so many times you would just go on there and just watch some guy
Yeah.
who's just standing in front of a cop yelling at someone. You're
Yeah.
like, Wow, we're living in crazy times.
There was also like an ICE app when they
Yes,
first they
totally.
were like, I don't know if I feel like now it's more Twitter. Like people will post videos on Twitter like ICE is at
Yes.
Elysian Park today, like, and it's a video of them.
Yeah,
chilling.
but the issue with those apps is that like everyone can't agree that we're all going to use these for things that are important. Because right after that, I'm on Nextdoor for our hood, and right after that, it'll be some guy to be like, whoever's dog this is, you keep walking them off the leash. It's like, but it's just like ICE. Be careful of ICE. They're at Walmart here. And then it's like some guy being like, if anybody needs any baking needs, hit me up. It's like, come on, bro. Like we're kind of doing something here. We're working on something. Like you got to relax.
Does someone have a wine bottle opener? You're like, wow, we're getting a lot from everyone around here.
I do landscaping. It's like we don't have
selling yourself
lawns,
your
bro.
pitching.
Like, yeah.
TaskRabbit.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Not now. Like we.
Yeah, I get a lot of work on the Nextdoor app.
That's where I sell tickets.
Check out my
You
stand-up
gotta post
tape.
right after a tragedy. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, promoting your show.
You gotta double dutch it right after a double homicide, and you can really.
I think there's like a level of accountability now to just like the general public that exists. Because like I feel like even like I've heard my neighbors get into fights and I could hear the stop filming me thing. And you're like, it's almost like a weapon really to be like, like you need to like, what do you think this is? What are you about to do?
Yeah.
yeah, holds people accountable. It's mostly a positive thing
Yeah.
for that, I think. Yeah.
Dash cam on your car, because I was in my girlfriend's car. I tapped some guy in his car while he was sitting in it. Since I moved to California, on the East Coast, everyone's always like, call the cops immediately, have them come, make a report of it. That's like the rule. Out here, the cops are like, we're not gonna fucking show up for that.
Yeah.
So the guy, everyone that's from LA is always like, dude, usually you can Venmo them some money, which my mom always told me never to do. But first accident out here, tapped this guy. He was like, yeah, you can just pay me. It was a little tiny scratch. Then he starts texting me like, you need to pay me $5,000. I'm like, no. Then we get a call at the insurance that he's suing, saying his neck hurts and all this shit. And I was on the phone with the insurance. I'm like, so if someone taps me, I can just say my neck hurts and I have a headache and I get $10K from the insurance company. Like, because it's not technically coming, we're not getting sued for $10K, the insurance is, which kind of like protects you, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy on the insurance was like, I mean, I'm not really allowed to like answer that. And I was like, dude, I hope I'm not the one, but like one of those fucking robot things runs in front of my car and I can be like, oh, my neck hurts or something. And I wish every day I'm like, I need to get a cam now on my car. Yeah. Because if I had footage, they were like, give footage of you just tapping him, because he's saying you like rammed into him. I'm like, no, I don't have the footage. So.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, dash cam. That's like a new thing now.
Totally. And I also think about like, I had a friend disappear in like college and they were able to piece it together from like security footage.
Whoa.
And you're like, wow, this is really handy that we have cameras out.
Yeah.
But also, like, I feel like too, like, it's also like too.
Wait, so.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Wait, so. Is he
went,
alive?
He went
or?
like crazy. He had like a psychotic break and then like, yeah, I think he was going to go like
your friend or
unalive himself.
Okay.
But then that didn't plan out. And then he like took one of our friends hostage and made him drive up California. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think that like the level of access we're given that now that everyone has a camera feels like almost inappropriate at times. Because I feel like also, I think about like when like Mac Miller died, he had still had like stories up on his Instagram.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is bizarro, like almost like too much.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like even comfortable that we have like an hour or two of you just like kind of messing around in studio on video.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is a private, this should be for nobody.
I will say this is probably the worst era to be a celebrity. Because I feel really bad for people like LeBron who like just want to go eat out at a restaurant with your wife and kids. And then you could just like feel.
I feel very bad for LeBron.
I mean,
I'm kidding.
he's doing fine.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He can
But
buy
it's
a
like,
restaurant.
it's just the idea that you're being watched like a zoo animal is like, it's just like a terrible, terrible feeling.
Yeah.
I just can't feel good.
Well, yeah, it's constant paparazzi everywhere, and they're all amateurs. They don't know anything. You know?
Well, and I think it's like forced. It's weird because I think it's forced celebrities to have to be really nice on and good behavior all the time.
Right.
Because you're like, the last thing you want is and I feel like I feel like there's been comics I've seen get flack for, like, I'm thinking it was a very specific person who got flack because of a crowd work interaction she had that went viral that someone else shot. And they're like, wow, she's a huge bitch.
Yeah.
Like, bup. And it's like, oh, this is so weird. Like, if the club didn't have... And even, like, I felt like even that happened when, like, Louis went back out. You think about the Kramer incident. You think about the... even, like, why Tosh stopped doing stand-up or whatever is because he had a bad clip, like, randomly fly out from the club or whatever. And it's like, that is a... Especially the out of contextedness of just the inherent nature of just like filming something for like a minute or two is like brutal.
But to our point earlier about how things just like live in infamy, imagine if the Kramer story was just like a folklore
Something people just heard about.
that none of us ever saw.
And it was things like that have probably happened that like they were able to just continue their career. Other comics have probably done things like that.
Yeah.
And
All right,
like
we're getting
no one
a
knows
caller
about
right now.
It's Kramer.
Hey, welcome to a long time
been
no
popping up
see.
at the inbox. Yeah,
Thanks for
this
calling.
week.
May I ask who I'm
Not
speaking
before,
with,
just
and would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So this is Wes. Long-time caller, every week now. Just going to continue. You guys are doing great, by the way. I
Thanks.
say it all
How
the
does the
time.
sound?
Dude, so good. Everybody's great.
Praise God.
Everybody's great. Video
It's like a
sounds,
production
looks
meeting
good.
here.
Sounds great. You guys are really depressing the shit out of me. And how sad it is that everybody has phones. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on how is it that everybody has phones and we've just not caught. There's no ghosts, no Bigfoot, no aliens, no Loch Ness Monster. I mean, all the stuff you guys are talking about is super important and serious, but like, that everybody has phones and we like high quality phones and that take pictures and video and nothing insane or out of the ordinary that would make you go, what the fuck? It's all this depressing stuff that you guys are talking about, which I love. Great points. And then the only serious note that I have, who it comes from is like real weird, but I think, and hear me out, Matthew McConaughey the other day, I saw him on a podcast, but he was talking about how we've become so, like our phones and the way the camera works and because we have them so readily available, we care more about capturing the moment than like actually like being a part of the moment, which is like really fucked with like people's psychological way in which they handle like outings, concerts, group get-togethers, birthdays, like even like having parties to say like you're pregnant. It's like not about the fact that you're sharing with your friends in these moments, but like you're actually just like, how can I capture this moment? And so you don't actually get to do the thing, which I do think's wild, because before we kind of like lived in the moment and we had the memory, and now it's like, well, we can look back at the memory. Fuck it. Like, let's worry about capturing it to whatever demise. So you guys are doing great. It sounds great. And I will continue listening to you guys.
Thanks for calling in, Scruggs. Happy Monday. Hope
Yeah.
you're enjoying your MLK Day.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Later, guys.
Talk
Bye.
about a guy that needed a cell phone.
That memory thing he says is something I've been thinking about. Like, do we even use our memories the same way because we subconsciously or even
Or just
consciously-
offloading it
we
onto
just
our
know
phone.
we don't need to remember this. It's there. you
Yeah.
know? So are you? I don't know.
I feel like we have less time. We don't ruminate as much.
That's right.
And I feel like rumination is like key to like soaking in an experience. And I can't help but think that us just shooting it on our phone makes us go, got it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
back to this.
Also, what a great premise that we don't know. There's no Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. Like, we used to get pictures of those all the time.
Yeah. Well, it feels like to me, like I always think like I'm a hater. I am a supernatural, just like, it's fake.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, none of it's happening. And I think a big W for being on this side of things is that there's no videos
Yeah, no
or
video.
photos of shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, yeah, dude, don't you think we would have seen one video by now? But I will say, though, I feel like the alien thing, I was always like, yeah, I think there's aliens. I don't know if they've ever been here until the government started releasing those videos.
Yeah.
And then you see it, and it's just the hardcore seeing is believing. You're like,
Yeah.
there it is. That is a thing we do not understand how it's moving or anything.
Yeah.
I saw you see the documentary?
Of course, I've seen them all.
There's a documentary on like a documentary series on Netflix about. Oh, I wish I remember the name, but it's all about like terrible things that have happened, like
Yeah.
just like pop culture stuff. And there's one where a guy, there's like some kids put online, "Hey, we're gonna storm. What's the big alien spot?" Like,
Oh,
Area 51.
51, yeah.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I had friends do that.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
I knew someone
do
that
you
went
know
on
it? They said we're gonna storm it, and it's just like as a joke, and then it just like took a life of its own, and then like people
Hella
got.
people showed up.
People
it was
got
like a
involved.
party. Like it was fun. It was fun because it was one of those things where like everyone showing up to this has a really good attitude.
Yeah.
Like you're being so hilarious.
Yeah.
But it became like so much of a thing, and the time where it took a turn is when the government was like, "Hey, if you come up here, we will shoot you."
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, aliens gotta be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
'Cause
How
they
do
were-
they do that?
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing that you could tell the American people.
Yeah, and okay, so I guess going back to the McConaughey quote, do you think it is actively like reframing how we experience in regards to just like how we attend things? Because I feel like my hack joke every time is we get somewhere cool and I take a photo, I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Funny, kind
Made me
of,
laugh
but
too.
like it's one of those things where it's just like it does feel like that sometimes. Where like you're doing a thing to be like, we're gonna get such a good photo out of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, there's been a lot of things where my friends are like, "You didn't get a photo of that." I'm like,
Yeah.
"No," because I feel
Not
like
even
if you take
thinking about it.
you can't. Yeah, you can't like who you're around or the circumstances you're in. You can't take a photo of that thing.
Yeah.
You know. And my friends are like, from back home, they just can't wrap their head around not taking a photo.
Right. Well, because a photo, most of the time, is for another person, is to show off what you're doing, right? And not like to be a show off, but just to show what your world
Yeah.
is. It's an external thing, where you're experiencing the moment is more of an internal thing. Like, yeah, of course, you go back and revisit your things that are personal to you, but like a lot of the time, yeah, I'm at this cool event. I'm going to show my friends this later. That's what it's for, you know.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between, like you were talking earlier, Jack, about like being at a concert is really cool. I'm gonna take a quick picture, and then I got it.
And then just like
And then,
actually enjoy
I'm
it.
gonna enjoy the rest of this.
Yes.
Totally.
What's
yeah.
the difference between that and the person who's like, I paid $2,500 to see Beyonce,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna enjoy it like this? Like,
Yeah.
Those people
Or
are
people
a
that
little
know
weird.
each other that are both recording next to each other. It's the same goddamn video.
like just
Yeah.
airdrop
Yeah, it's
it.
a little weird. Yeah, they're weird.
I don't know what that difference is.
And I think it's like maybe I mean I don't know. It's kind of like have we like defaulted to like assuming that like the camera on our phone functions as our basic like memory,
Whoa.
and so we're just like fully offloading it to be like, got it.
Yeah.
And you're mistaking like your phone as your head.
They do talk
Yeah, I
about
mean,
it
the
like
meta
it's an
glasses.
extension, right?
Exactly. The meta glasses are
Dude,
great.
that's another weird thing. Like I've seen some like comedians like they don't do stand up, but they're just online people. I'll be on Melrose and I'll see dudes with like thick Ray-Bans and they're talking to like girls on the street. And I'm about to do it. I always chicken out, but I want to walk up and be like, he's wearing a camera
Yeah,
on his
uh-huh.
glasses. Don't talk to him. I think the meta glasses is so fucking weird. Like I think the creators that use meta glasses, it's like horrible. You know, I think it's
I think it's,
no. Like,
it's
I think it's cool if you own them as just a normal person. But if you're
Yeah.
like my content is going to be like going into Walmart and fucking with people on my meta glasses, it's like bizarre to
Sure.
me.
and I think it's
scary.
even I think it's even more proof that like we are integrating cameras more and more into like our bodies. Even,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's like we're seeing it as like almost like a necessary like. Well, you got to be shooting everything.
Yeah, like these Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah, the
Uh-huh.
one where his wife like cheats on him,
Yes.
and he's like, let's go through the memory, and he can see a photo album of when the guy that she was fucking was in the
Huh?
back. There's an episode of Black Mirror.
Start from the top and the next.
Yeah.
There's yeah. So, but basically, it's like everyone has a thing in their head where like
Yeah.
it's basically your iPhone, but just in your head.
Yeah.
And you have a little remote, and you can click through everything. And this guy's wife cheats on him, and then he's like, to prove it, he's like, I want to see in your fucking head, basically, like
no.
your timeline. I think that's what
Yeah.
it was. But I've always been like, dude, it's gonna happen. I feel like the start of it was Ned's Declassified with Cookie.
Oh yeah.
When he had
uh-huh.
the glasses.
I'm too old.
Yeah, he had the little thing. I remember.
I mean, it feels like wearing a wire.
It is wearing
Yeah.
a wire.
I think
It
most
is.
people would want that, though. I think a majority of the world would accept
Like
that.
I don't want to miss anything.
Exactly.
Let me make sure I don't miss anything.
I was watching a church service and the pastor was doing like an altar call and the guy was wearing glasses. He was like, "Are those meta glasses?" Like, stop the service.
Well, isn't it funny to literally be experiencing everything and going, I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
You're literally there. In
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So what are you missing?
Exactly.
You're missing capturing it, I guess. But is that now considered it? Like the thing that you're supposed to be doing?
Which is unfortunate because it actually ends up like dates. It's like as soon as the plate comes, like let's take pictures of the food.
Yep.
Let's take. I want to get a picture. I want to get a picture here, and it's like, yeah. Are we like? Does it affect our ability to connect to the moment?
And then I think also too, I feel like it ends up being almost like weaponized as sort of a beacon of like status. And like you're using your photos and your camera to like paint this picture of who you are, even though like you as a person are
Yeah.
so much more than a fucking photo of
Yeah.
like your dinner or like, oh, I was just on a private jet or like I'm in
Yeah.
like Zihuatanejo like effing off and like
Zihuatanejo
Zihuatanejo.
in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Dude, that's like my favorite spot I've ever been.
I
to.
haven't been. I only reference it because of Shawshank Redemption.
Dude,
Where they
sick-
go. I
sick
need it. I've
fucking
heard it's
area.
amazing.
It's fucking amazing.
That's great.
But
I'm gonna
something
write
that I
this
was
down.
thinking of too is like, I wonder what it was like back then when you went to some crazy ass shit like the Martin Luther King "I Have a Dream" speech, and you're telling everyone about it. Like, no, I swear I was there. Like,
Yeah.
and then he went up and he said this, and people were like, all right, like you're probably gassing. And then it comes out in the newspaper. Like, what it must have felt like to be like checking the newspaper every day to see if that like event you've been bragging about
Well-
all week is about to drop.
I think that our relationship to reality is just so different now because everyone has a phone, and I think because like we're offloading the like ability to, or like not really, but like we're offloading like retaining a moment to our cameras, that like our day to day is so different because it's almost, I feel like it's almost instinctual pulling out the camera. You see
Yeah.
something great, you're just sort of like, I need to like get this. And that like, I think that's, I don't know how healthy that is. I also don't know like what the meaning is in regards to just like overall, like what does a moment mean to me if I feel like I have to like put on my meta glasses to like experience it, because by experiencing it I mean sharing it, and by sharing it I'm like painting a picture of like who I am as a person.
But I think the thing about the "I Have a Dream" speech that's interesting to me is that there was no viral.
Yeah, I mean, like there was like newspaper photographers at that event.
Sure, but I'm
You
saying
had to wait
like,
for them to drop the photos.
but like for me, there was no viral. So like when my grandmother talks, when she used to talk about going to see Dr. King, it was just like, yeah, he was here. It was Tuesday. Like, I think even back in the day, like people like MASH was watched by over such and such million people. It was just like, it was a big deal, but it was a big deal like us like sitting on our porch being like, did you see MASH last night? There was no sense that like a picture I took or some video I took was the thing that was gonna go viral. And I just wonder if it like, if there's something to the idea that like,
I love this actually. I know where you're going.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I think like the weight of things now we assign a number of because we're able to capture it and share it, and like, oh, it went viral. This is a moment that means something.
like something I did was
versus
lit.
like me, like a moment you could like a weird moment you could have with like a neighbor or out and about that doesn't get captured, that just disappears into the ether.
Yeah.
You're like, is that less meaningful than like this like snowboarding squirrel?
Yeah, like so, the
You know,
the series.
You're like looking at your like 10.6 million views. That must mean a lot.
Yeah.
But does it?
That has nothing to
value
do
what
with
people
me.
Like, then yeah, I think it's a biased opinion. You know.
Yeah. But is that a result of level of access to like, I mean, I guess content, but
Sure.
because we're able to capture things, put things out, and like show stuff off, that our meaning making is now real wonky and at the like sway of like your algorithm, what it shows you,
Yeah, I think
and
that's
what it shows to a ton of people.
I think that's like the thing that I'm like, it went from like, oh, this is the real world, like the show, the real world, to where it's like we're all kind of in the real world. Like
That's
it's
right.
there's
Yeah.
a sense that like, oh, at any point I can do something that the world is gonna see,
Yeah.
and there's no sense of like, yo, I'm just like here.
Yeah, now we're all living like celebrities, basically. Like you have to move. Like people that like my girlfriend used to work in sales, and like she couldn't even like be like, I don't want that online, like a cup of me drinking or something, because like I'm like, you work a normal job, you're not a famous person.
Yep.
But even those people have to like move like they're fucking Kim Kardashian now. Sometimes it's kind of weird.
It feels like everyone's in their own like Truman Show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where you're
yeah.
like, okay. And it's funny because like I had a good friend I was trying to get to do the show, and she works for like corporate Walmart and was like, I can't do it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And it's like,
crazy.
okay. But it's one of those things where it's just like, I think that like significance is given to things on like on its own accord. Like it's just sits there, but you're like, oh, well now this means something else because we captured it versus not.
Yeah. It also makes people who choose not to engage feel withdrawn in a way that's probably not true.
Mm-hmm.
Like celebrities who don't engage on social media at all feel weird, and it's not.
I saw a great interview with George Clooney, and he was like, they're like, why aren't you on social media? And he goes, because I drink. But it's for real though. You're like, okay, well, if I don't want to like mess up my career, image is almost everything now, and especially in a world where it's everything really.
Yeah.
Like you can't damage that by having something that goes up
Yeah.
that's weird.
Like
Especially since it's almost like self-inflicted,
yeah.
you know?
Like
which is worse.
Denzel's not doing like a dance challenge on TikTok.
Uh-huh,
Like,
exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah, well, those guys don't need the social media to help. It can only hurt their career. You know?
Totally.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Like, we have all this stuff downloaded into our phone instead of our brains, but also that's not. I mean, we have our public persona on social media that people can see, the government can see anybody, but also just your phone, all that stuff. They see it all the time. Apple or
Yeah.
Google or whoever, you know. And that's another like weird dynamic. We're taking all these pictures for memory or for whatever, but it's giving people above us in power a sense of what's really going on all the time. You know, like you're self spying on yourself for everyone.
And that's like my thing is like we're in a surveillance state because everyone has unbelievable levels amount of access to like cameras and shooting and getting whatever. But also though we are naturally just
Giving it.
them everything.
Yeah.
Just like no privacy within ourselves to like the websites we go on, the things we put on our phone, XYZ. So it's like, does it even matter that everyone has a camera? You're already posting all of the dumb shit you're doing.
Yeah, why do people think they have no privacy anymore?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Also, I wonder if it's like the camera or just the inability to disengage. Because like technology is fine. We've kind of always had the tech. Like in the 90s, we had disposable cameras. So,
But I think the difference now is like everyone has one in their pocket 24/7.
That
Yeah,
would
it's
be-
like
everybody
vaping
on
versus
the-
cigarettes.
But if everybody on the street had a disposable camera and was taking pictures all the time, that's kind of how it is.
And that would be bizarro.
That would be weird to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like, everyone chill out. Why are you taking so many fucking photos?
Yes.
But because it's on your phone, you're like, whatever. That's what everyone
Walgreens
does.
can only handle a certain amount.
Yeah, they're like, we are underwater in orders.
I do miss having to wait for a photo because you didn't know what it was going to look
Uh-huh.
like. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe it's tech companies are making it easier and easier for us to be like addicted to cell phones.
They're designed to, yeah.
Like they're designing it to where it's like I saw like a TED talk one time about this guy being like, the one tip I have to help your relationship. It sounds so stupid that this is like a thing that can help your relationship, but it's like, yo, subconsciously, by not putting your phone on the table, you're communicating that you're the most important thing in this moment. And like sometimes our proximity to our phones in like romantic moments communicates subconsciously that like
Yeah.
there's still a battle for number one. And
Yeah.
it's like, what?
It's
like
crazy.
that's an actual note that
Yeah.
someone gave that actually is like legitimate. Like,
Yeah.
yo, maybe I don't like it's like, hey, so how was your day? And it's like I need to
Yeah,
I need
something
to keep
that's
this
I
close to
can't
me.
for some reason, like if I'm watching a movie with you and it's the first time we're both watching the movie and then you start taking out your phone and texting, like I can't enjoy the movie.
This never happened.
Like, I'm just saying,
Seriously,
like,
I
I
would
will
never
not
do
be able to focus. I'll just be like, yo, why are you on your phone? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
let's. And it's funny because that doesn't shouldn't affect my viewing of the movie, but it does for some reason. 'cause
Look at me
it's like-
being a loser paying attention to a film.
Yeah, it's like weird.
I'm 100% on your side, and it absolutely should take away from your movie because you see it. If you see it, then that's already taking you out.
Yeah, yeah.
That
So
does
why do
piss
you do
me off
that
a
to me
lot.
all the time?
I think it's
All right, we'll
just
talk about this later.
Oh, wait, one more thing I wanted to ask. Like, that's your dog that was here, right?
Yes.
So, like, do you feel like, because I had a dog growing up and I would always be playing with the dog,
Mm-hmm.
taking a million photos of the dog, and I never felt like I wasn't present in those moments with the dog, even though I took the photos of the dog. Isn't that weird? Like,
I agree. But I think it's almost has something to do with
it being a dog.
it being a dog.
Yeah, okay.
Because you're like, this is part of the like ritual around my dog. And also too, like, you know, dogs' life expectancy is just so much shorter than people's.
You need to have
So
it.
you're like, I gotta have this photo of my dog.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
if it's like crazy. Like, I can't help but think like, I want to think of like, I'd be so curious to know like the breakdown in regards to like the ratio of pet photos to like every other photos that people from like 40 years ago had. If it's still like, yeah, 10% of
The
all
ratio,
photos
yeah.
were like your dog. I feel like it's got to be similar.
Sounds like a fun project.
Yeah, let's get down to it.
Someone out there, and then call in.
Call in,
Yeah,
do the
call
math.
I'm trying to think of like Full House. They always took pictures with their dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Comet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Pluto or Comet? I forget the name. Maybe they had two dogs.
Pluto is Jetsons?
Pluto's
No,
Disney.
Pluto's Goofy's dog. No,
It's
What?
Disney.
It might have been Comet.
Goofy.
You might wanna
What's
know.
is
Comet
Goofy an
feels
animal?
right.
I want to. Can I?
Yeah,
Google
we
it?
can look it up.
Comet feels right. Pluto is
Goofy's dog.
Goofy's dog.
And what's Goofy?
Comet.
A dog too?
It was Comet.
Comet.
I
Nice.
think Goofy is a dog as well.
Yeah, Goofy's.
So Goofy
is
has a
dog, yeah.
pet dog. The dog
Goofy,
has a pet
Pluto,
dog.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, what'd you say?
Well, one of
If
them wears
if
clothes,
Goofy's a dog, he is a pet dog too.
this is a
No, I
common.
feel like
out
Disney
there.
came out a couple of years
Yeah.
ago and they were like, one of them like isn't a dog. And people were like, what the fuck?
What is
Same
it?
thing with
Like
Hello
a
Kitty. They
big
were like, Hello
rabbit?
Kitty's not a cat, and people were like,
Wait,
What is it?
They're humanoid animals, is what.
that.
Oh, that's
something,
their
but they were
messaging.
like, it's not a cat, and people were like, it has whiskers, it seems kitty, and they were like, no.
Like it's
What
you
is it?
dumbass.
First of all, it's a
What were you
fucking
What would
thinking?
give you
It
that
upset, like, a lot-
impression?
It upset a lot of people.
So what is it?
It's a cartoon, so we're just they just
Yeah.
they were like whatever.
Whatever
It's
they
what
want.
it is, yeah.
Okay.
And okay. So back to the photos. I feel like that because we assign so much meaning to them in regards to like it almost being the thing that it's representing. Well, it's also so it's funny to me because I feel like in the grand scheme of things, photos just cannot capture the like big show that we're in. It's impossible. It's like watching a stand-up special. You're like, this is just not as good as being in the room.
Yeah.
Or it's like when you take a photo of the moon.
Yeah.
You're like, this sucks. You're like, it literally looks amazing right now, and it just inherently can't capture the like fullness.
sunset.
There are
Yeah.
very great photographers that capture things that are undoubtedly better than how you experience it. Though,
Absolutely.
So there's like a degree to that.
But I think that's something that like starts to inch into like that's coming from like the professional camp, the
Yeah.
camp that's
It's
built their
different than the-
life around like photography.
But I think that's kind of the issue with how we use the camera nowadays, because everyone's trying to get we're not trying to document the moment, we're trying to get the perfect picture. So like when people are taking pictures at a comedy club, it's not like, man, this was such a great show, I just want to document this moment.
Yeah.
It's like, I need to get the perfect photo so I can
Yeah.
post it.
And it's funny because only older people, like I have my friends' moms on Facebook, they take photos, horrible photos of everything they experience, and they don't give a fuck if it's
They're
the best.
so happy with it.
They're just taking it because they're like, oh my god, I'm at this thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a younger generation that's like, I have to be, and I feel like it's about the likes too. It's like I want it to go viral or whatever.
My
I
mom
feel like-
has so many zoomed out, blurry photos of her trip to LA, and she could not
Give a
be
fuck.
happier about
Dude,
it.
yeah.
Well, because old people are documenting it. That's like how they.
They're
use
really
photos.
documenting it.
They're
Uh-huh.
real documentarians.
They're like, this is for
Posterity.
Yeah, Whereas like I feel like with like it's got to be what Gen X and below that it's like, oh, this is like a status defining thing that I'm making and
Photos.
posting.
Photos a tool to get whatever they want, clout. you know.
Yes, exactly.
Now they have programs where you can like delete people out of the photos, which is like,
Oh yeah.
Well, and now that's where like the memory thing. You're like, okay, so if we're using this offload memory and now we're changing it, what's going on? Now this is like now we're in like Black Mirror level. Like we're changing history
Yeah.
to ourselves by doing stuff like this.
which the whole fun of a photo album is to look at it and be like, Mom, who's
Wow, remember that? Yeah, you remember this?
She's
This
like-
is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like we're
Could've been
now
your
like
dad.
we're so uncomfortable with any sort of like I'm trying to think what the right word here is. We're like so uncomfortable with the moment not being as pristine as we want it to be
Yeah.
that we like edit it, fix it, do whatever to make it what it should have been.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think that's a scary, weird thing where like a deep uncomfortability with the moment.
Yeah.
Well, that's not to like be hack and bring up fucking AI, but like now people are online are taking photos of like the Stranger Things cast
Yeah.
and making them look like rappers or whatever, and you can change someone. So I'm curious if in the future someone's gonna see a photo of like Barack Obama holding an AK-47 and they're not gonna know if that was a real photo or not.
I
What?
agree.
Yeah.
Well, that was like the thing. You remember?
Like now we know it's not real, but in 50 years from now, in a tech like
someone just looking online. Is
yeah,
gonna be like,
because I've
that
only
happened.
seen like 1 or 2 photos of like Nelson Mandela. So like if you know,
But it's also
It's
like go ahead.
I was just gonna say because he brought up Nelson Mandela. That's so interesting with the Mandela effect. Like, not just do we not want to believe the pictures and alter that, we alter. We're seeing hard fact evidence in pictures and movies and saying that it's false and we're in a different reality because we
Yes.
don't even want to think that we're wrong.
We can't
for a
click
second
into it. Yeah.
because it's not our perfect history or our perfect memory of the moment.
Well,
It's
and
like
then,
they want a perfect picture, they want a perfect memory, everything.
and I think too, like I mean, I'm thinking of like you remember that picture of the Pope in the puffer that went out, and then they're like, that's AI, it's fake. But it was on like magazines, it was in the news. You're like, this is such a bizarro world where it's just like not only like, I think it's because we have offloaded like memory and like meaning making and like experience into like photos, and you're like, this is the thing. It's like kind of like the pin that we put onto like that's a moment in real time that we're capturing.
Yeah.
And now that it's just like all bizarro fakeazoid, there's like an inherent distrust now when I feel like I look at my phone And I think that like one big thing was there's some priest, bishop, I don't know, is a DJ, and he's been having raves at the Vatican.
No way.
And I honestly thought it was fake the first like 3 months. I just saw it on my feed. I was just like, this is obviously AI. And then I found out it was real. And I was like, we're like everyone, there is no like shared reality anymore.
Yeah.
There is nothing that tethers anyone down to like what the real world is, because we've put such an immense amount of trust with seeing is believing. And now we have just wiped that out with AI like this.
It makes me think of like how many things are like core memories of mine that if AI was around at that time, I would have never. Like when homie threw the shoes at George Bush, I would have
You'd be
like
no
nowadays
way.
if that
Yeah,
happened now, I'd be like,
Someone's
Yeah.
throwing that up.
yeah, like what about that would I actually believe is real? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when they first introduced AI, all the videos were like, oh, that's obviously something that's fake.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's like maybe this is my conspiracy, but they did that to like trick society into then believing things that look more real and stuff. I think when I saw the Charlie Kirk video at first, I was like, oh, that, like in my group chat, I was like, oh, that's AI, bro.
100%.
Because
100%.
also, the other thing that
People are saying that still is.
yeah, I feel like so many people were also like upset about it on some like, oh, the people that were like, he was a father at the end of the day and shit, because they saw the actual video. Like if they hadn't seen the actual video of him getting shot in the neck, people wouldn't have gave as much of a fuck, like been upset that he was dead, like you know.
And that's I just think that there's something but that goes back to the seeing is believing thing. There's like a real like humongous like kind of like thump in the chest when you see something. We're like, whoa, like this is crazy. But now that that's like slipping through our fingers, and I think it's weird because I think that like this inherent distrust that's now happening with kind of like our consumption, I think is healthy. It's good. Like I think it's like it's probably how you're supposed to be like interacting with subject matter, is from like kind of a point of view where like are they trying to pull one over me? Is this real? What's going on? Let me ask questions, which is like key marks of like healthy media consumption.
Yeah.
But I think now it feels like we have to act towards everything, which can't be healthy.
All right, y'all got me thinking.
Okay, hold up. We got a call coming in. Hi, this is long time no see. How you doing?
Hello, yeah, this is Armando from Drinker's Masters office.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, sir. I'm just calling because we still have your services scheduled for tonight, okay?
Maybe you'll fix that
actually,
shower.
you're next. I'm just calling, just to ask if we, we'll probably be there by 9 or a little bit over, okay?
That's fine, no problem.
I was like,
That's
man,
great.
This question's about to be fired.
No, that's perfect.
All right, well, thank you very much. Okay, we'll be there soon.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you calling in. Take care.
We appreciate you calling in.
It's funny. This guy's going to show up and we'll ask him what his thoughts are. All right. Sorry before I so rudely interrupted you
Oh,
with
no,
my
no, no.
maintenance
Gotta
guy.
get the shower fixed. It got me thinking, like, I wonder if a part of our, like, addiction to cameras and phones and pictures is the fact that we get a chance to watch them back so quickly. Because when we had camcorders and we did have the disposable cameras, there was like a take the picture and then just move
That's
on.
it. Yeah.
There wasn't
I feel like this makes me think about like how many times I'll like look at my stories back.
yeah.
You're like, I know what's up here.
Like we used to take the picture, used to take it to get it developed, and we didn't really even talk about it. In fact, the only thing we ever really talked about was like, I can't wait to get those pictures back.
Yeah.
Was everybody smiling? Was everybody? And then there would be some fun when the pictures came back. But like, if we were at a cookout or something, we took those pictures and then the camera got thrown into a book bag. Or like it was just, there's nothing I can do until it's developed. So like,
Yeah.
I do wonder if that's like changed the way we experience things.
Like on a roller coaster, there's the moment where they take the quick picture and then you experience the rest of the roller coaster. But imagine if the roller coaster was all about just like trying to, you wouldn't experience any of the roller. But it's like fun to like do it, then experience the roller coaster. Then as you're getting off, you're like, oh yeah, let's like go check out. And then it's funny to like then take a photo of the shitty screen of your photo. But yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, theme parks are really losing money because no one's buying those pictures.
There's no way.
There's no way.
I think too that because we now get like the immediate feedback loop of being just like getting to look at the photos.
Yeah.
It's taking us out even more, like
Yeah.
to a degree that just is psychotic. Because you're like, let's get that, let's look at it, now let's take more photos, we didn't really get it, let's do that again. And so now all of a sudden, this moment that was supposed to just kind of like,
Be
you're
organic.
just to move through,
Yeah.
like in your route of like experiencing the thing you're in front of,
Yeah.
is now like clunked up by being like, we didn't get it, let's try this.
Yeah, what
Lighting's
didn't we
bad.
get?
You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that we're trying to like get the perfect moment right now, but it's coming
Yeah.
at the expense of the moment we're supposed to be in the middle of enjoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like another awkward thing is like when you're in the middle of a convo with someone and you're like, oh, you're trying to tell them something. You're like, oh, let me find the video, and then you're scrolling for so long, and then that convo just like dies out.
It just like
like you're like, and then you feel like a piece of shit because you're like, well, I still need to find it.
yeah.
Now
like
I can't
know
give
I
up.
did it. Now I'm proving this to myself.
Yeah, and then they're talking to someone else, and then you're like, "Yo, bro, here it is." Actually, and they're like,
Like
"Okay,
10 minutes
now
later,
yeah.
you're like,
now
I
you're
don't
pathetic."
care.
So yeah,
Well, at least you had it, you know.
Yeah, totally.
yeah. Even you earlier, you were like, "I'm curious what everyone's coolest moment they've captured on the thing." Like, I felt the need to be like, "Let me show you mine." It's weird. I don't know.
There are some things like camera-wise that I'm like, yo, if I wasn't born in this era, I wouldn't have. Like, my grandmother passed away in November of 24, and she got sick in like October. So that whole month, we were just like, it's like 30-minute selfie videos of just being like, tell us everything.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I was born in South Carolina. We did this during the summer, like just trying to peep as much family history as I can. And it's like, yo, if I just like, I've always thought since that time, like, yo, I wonder how much, like, the 80s was a crazy era. Like, how much we could have, you know, just the beauty of being born in this era that we have the opportunity to, like, document certain things. Like, backstage at certain shows, it's like, oh, such and such popped up. Like, oh, this is so dope that we can, like, get this, and how much of that stuff, like, even watching, like, Eddie tell stories about being at the store, it's like,
Do you think we've become worse storytellers because of like the ease of using a camera whenever? And like when it comes to like actual reflection or like talking through like a moment, we default to being like, let me show you photos from it?
I think in general, yeah, the phone overall, right? Any kind of information is right there that you need. So yeah, you can recollect an idea or a thought or a picture. Like it kind of takes away from.
Because I feel like I think about someone asking me like, hey, how was Disney? Or like,
Yeah.
how was that trip to Mexico? And my default is just
There
like
you go.
the photos.
Yeah.
Rather than being like, let me talk about it.
Well, I almost use like my camera roll as in my Facebook as like a time capsule. Like I like to look at things years later and be like, oh, like that was so and so's bar mitzvah in middle school. Like that was funny. But I feel like that's when it's more enjoyable. Like if someone from the 80s got to see a video now,
yeah.
they would probably like cry. They'd be like, oh my God, I remember that. Like, I can't believe you have this footage. Like, where'd you find this?
Yeah.
But if they just had all footage, they wouldn't give a fuck. Yeah.
I mean, truth be told, we probably confuse content with connection. Because I've never felt like I needed a high school reunion. Everybody that I've like wanted to know about, I'm like, I know everything.
Yeah.
I see
I've
what
seen
you
your
look like.
whole life. I see what's
Yup.
going on immediately.
I see your kids. I see who you married. I see what you look like. Like, what's the reunion for?
Yeah.
I feel like
That's such an
they're
interesting
dying
point.
out.
Yeah.
What's the point? You're not like catching up with anyone.
Yeah.
because-
Like we don't need reunions ever.
But I think that that's once again us defaulting to the narrative that like images tell the whole story.
Yeah. Well, and social media is the truth, right?
Exactly, and we know it. We know inherently it's not.
Yeah.
It is some weird highlight reel of like a very manicured,
Yeah.
like portrait of yourself.
We gotta start putting our low lights on there, making it better.
Well, that way, you know, what's funny is I remember we brought like you remember Be Real.
yeah.
Yeah.
That whole point, right up top, it was like, oh yeah, this is goofy and crazy because like there is no like inherent like, oh, this is like a performative like we're putting out like photos to make it look like XYZ and I want you to think this about me. So I feel like at the beginning Be Real was excited. You're like, this is hilarious. We're gonna see people just like right now, and then they took their eye off the ball.
Yeah.
But I think it's because we crave that authenticity so much, and because of AI and how fake photos are getting and how fake everything on your phone is or whatever, you're like distrusting that now. So it's like, how are you supposed to make meaning in a world that like the like totem poles of reality are now like a mirage almost?
I actually do believe that me feeling like I don't want a high school reunion is terrible.
Yeah.
I
I'm
do.
not saying it is a good thing. It's just an amazing idea that I didn't even like think about. You know, like my father probably didn't ever see people from his high school until the reunion.
Ever again until that
Right.
moment. Yeah.
But for instance, like I have I started a call with my cousins like on Zoom because everybody's like in Atlanta and overseas, all that stuff. So we got on the call and it was just like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. Everybody like give your life updates. And I think maybe like 2 minutes in, I think everyone realized that we all didn't know each other's lives the way we thought. Because we just like stay connected on social media so much. Like we see each other's posts. So it was like, hey, has anybody else got something going on? And somebody's like, I just had surgery and da da da. And it's like, if you don't post it, I think there's like a false confidence that I know because I follow you. And it's like, oh, everything I need to know you'll post. And that's just not true. Like, we follow each other.
Yeah,
I truly have no idea what's going on in your life at all. And unless he posts like, hey, I've had a horrible 2025. I would have no idea.
Well, it's like also like this weird false sense of security that like you have a like understanding of someone via their socials,
Yeah.
and it couldn't be further from the truth. But it is like a weird like fractal image of very specific moments that they decided to share, and pretending like that's their whole life is delusional. But it's easy. It's so easy to do. It's so easy to think like that's the whole like thing.
Yeah. There's people from high school I wish I could. I wish I could not know what they look like so I could have been surprised at the reunion. Y'all got people like that? Where you're like, man, I
course,
wish
it's
I
fun.
didn't know. So I could have been shocked that
Yeah,
you
well,
were
like my reunion just happened. And
You went?
I didn't go.
Oh.
And but all my friends did, and like one of my best friends was the one that organized it. And I was asking them on like we were FaceTiming, and I was like, oh, all the people I asked them if they went that I was curious about are the people that have private Instagrams that I don't follow. Like I would never follow them, but I was like, was so and so there? And they're like, nah. And yeah, I remember my mom's high school reunion, like her best friend flew in from another state to go to it and shit like that. And when they were telling me, they were like, yeah, only like 30 people out of like, I don't know, my class probably was like 1,000 fucking went. They were like, it was the best time ever. But yeah, I only wanted to know about the people that don't. Or there's also a vibe, like you ever go to like a family reunion or something and there's a cousin that doesn't have social media and you haven't seen since you were little and you're like, only want to know what they're up to.
Yeah.
They're telling you like the craziest shit. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
I think there's something like so easy to romanticize about the people who are just fully offline. Because like I think about like it's funny because like I remember I just saw some like old buddies over the holidays, and we were like going through the list of people who do not have social media or anything, and doing the like, where are they now thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like in a world that's so plugged in and like it's so like people are so self-revealing with just like eviscerating any sort of privacy
Yeah.
that fully like stepping out of that, you're like, whoa. You're like, what is that?
Let's all acknowledge they're alive.
Exactly. You're like, you hope.
Yeah. Yeah, I've like people I barely know that I went to college with or high school with that don't have like
Could be trans. Her name was Christine, so I've been looking up like
Whoa.
in my 20s. I was like, Chris Harris, like
Christian.
Yeah, I was trying. So yeah, it's people who are off social media. I have like so much respect for them.
And it's funny because also
Yeah.
I've always like my fantasy world is I'm always like if I was in a community and if I didn't want to be in entertainment, I would just like teach surf lessons on a beach in Hawaii and sleep on a hammock and not have a phone and just not have a flip phone, not give a fuck. And that's like my like escape, my
totally.
paradise, my
And I think it's so weird because I feel like it's one of those things where like it is just like an open understanding that our phones are bad for us. And then when we think of like our ideal world, they're not in it.
Yeah, that's a very interesting premise, right? Like, but humans obviously love phones. That's why we have them.
We can't stop using them.
But if they're so bad, why are we making them? You know what I mean?
yeah, like okay, not to get into religion, but let's say everyone here does believe in heaven. Let's just say that. Like, do you think that phones will be in heaven?
You're trying to trick me to say I believe in heaven.
I mean, I hope not.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay.
What
if
am I
you-
gonna have?
It's okay if you
You're
don't
gonna
believe
have
in
bad
God or
screen
whatever.
time
Like, I'm
in
not trying
heaven
to put you.
also.
That is so funny. Like in the quintessential heaven idea, right? Like the normative heaven. Mm-hmm. We just live out for eternity with phones.
Yeah, and it's just like I feel like I saw some funny tweet. They're like, "There's no phones in heaven, so get all the screen time you can in right now."
Yeah.
like everybody in heaven right now is jonesing for some screen time.
Yeah.
They're like, "God, I
Suck,
would love to be
dude."
scrolling."
God's like, guys, you don't need the phones anymore.
Yeah.
So what would that make hell?
All screen time.
Yeah.
You just wearing the VR glasses around.
It's just brightness up, meta glasses all day.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's
Welcome,
what
I'm
we're
Mark
doing.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah. How about it?
Yeah, we're doing it
We're
right
in
now.
hell.
Yeah.
You can't prove this isn't bad.
Dang, hell is just one big content creator plan.
Yeah, you're on a posting schedule.
Jesus.
You just work for Mr. Beast.
You're almost meeting quotas. You never quite get it.
Almost.
Jesus, just a perpetual game of beast games. Sick.
I also feel like too with how cameras have like fundamentally shifted things. I think I go back to thinking about like the what is it, the Zimbardo experiment, the Stanford prison experiment, and that was like a big moment where they're like, hey, we need to make rules about like what you can and can't do to people. Like this is literally goes beyond ethics for anything. We cannot be doing this to people. But as soon as we put cameras on it, we're like, yeah, let's see if two strangers will fall in love between a wall.
Yeah.
Like we're way more okay with doing like weird bad stuff just because a camera is there. And I think it's like like the umbrella of content frees us of thinking that there's any sort of like social responsibility because you're like, well, we're doing this for views.
So, all right, so let me ask you this. We've talked about how cameras have affected, like owning a camera affects it. How do you think knowing that cameras are around has affected the way we interact?
I think it completely has changed. Like, I think it's changed almost everything. Like, I think that like so many I don't know. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, I feel like you're tailoring yourself to fit this thing in case something happens and it gets captured.
You think we're like self-editing like that?
Absolutely.
Some people,
Totally.
not all. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think like I mean, I feel like Tim's a great example of someone who has found such a strong current because he's not worried about anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of comedians get to like, or like artists, whatever, reach a level where they're like, I can't be heard saying anything. anywhere because that I don't want anything to jeopardize what I've been like cultivating.
Yeah.
And so like it is exciting to see an artist like Tim Dillon like just rattle the cage constantly.
Yeah.
But he's in a lucky spot where like he's not beholden to anyone. He's
Yeah.
got this monstrosity Patreon that he's just like I can do anything I want ever.
Yeah.
And even someone and even like on the like someone like Sam Harris or whatever, like he's not ad sponsored. All it is just like through his like membership or whatever through his audience. And so you're like he's at no one's behest to like speak in any direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like some clip's gonna come out of him saying something and then it's like there goes my like job at Walmart.
Right.
Yeah.
So it feels like I don't know, do you think like privacy is like a luxury now? Like I feel like I've gone to like raves where they'll put like big stickers on everyone's camera when they walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, no photos. So it's like a curtailed. We have to like seek out this privacy to get it.
If you retired tomorrow, would you be on social media?
I'd like to think no.
In an ideal world, I don't want to be. I want to be like you said, like go away, start a job somewhere, and have this idealized life. And it's right. It's like I we were talking about shows, going to like a comedy show and putting the phones away. Always positive. No one is in there saying I hate doing this.
Yeah.
They're always like, this is a cathartic, nice thing. You know, like
Yeah.
it feels good. So yeah, I would love to be.
But do you think? My thing is like, do you think it's that we don't want to have our phones, or we don't want to have social media, or because I think it's like we don't want to have the version of social media that we're on right now.
Yeah.
Like the bottomless scroll. Because like I remember when you used to be able to get to the bottom of your feed, where it would just be like you've seen everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go
Wow.
make a sandwich.
Isn't that crazy?
I
Like
forgot
it used
about
to
that.
be like you just be, and they're like that's all the posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like and it's also like the reason you got onto social media was to see your friends, and now
Yeah.
you're like mostly seeing random creators constantly
I had to
nonstop.
watch a movie or a video the other day of how to make it so I can only see my friends. You know, because I had to learn how to get rid of all the crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to your point, I've performed a bunch of times, couple times, when everyone's phones were locked up. It is a different feeling. It did feel
And that's how the world always was.
freeing in
Yes.
a way. It felt very like,
Like this isn't the normal time. This is the weird time.
yeah.
We're not in the right.
Yeah, the improv, they yonder all the phones.
Every show now?
Every single show because
Distorted.
yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. I think it was Chappelle or Cat Williams dropped in and someone filmed it, TMZ, and then we were like, we're just gonna do every show now. I mean, I think if you do like your own show in the lab, that's small, like your own
Yeah.
like if I produce a show, like they're not gonna yonder unless I ask them to, but every main room show yondered. And it's funny because there's a lot of like older people that when you're yondering them, they'll be like, well, how am I supposed to film the comedian? And we're like, that's literally the fucking reason why we're
That is why.
taking your phone.
That's why, yeah, that's why it's so funny because it is literally because of pictures and video that we're locking up these phones. But it takes away everything else too. No distraction, no want to even,
Yeah.
like look at your Uber coming to
And
pick
I-
you up. Everything.
And I think the like no distraction thing I think is like it's become such an easy like attention taker from you that it's like we literally have to lock it up to not use it.
Yeah, we have to police ourselves, right? Because
It's like
We're addicts.
impossible.
Have you ever
We-
broken a phone and like, well, I don't know how old you guys are, but when I was in high school, I had an iPhone, broke it, and my dad was like, I'm fucking sick of this. You're gonna have a flip phone for the rest of the year. And I hadn't been a reader. Like I never really was into reading, and I started reading like the Harry Potter books, and then from that moment on, I've just been a reader since then. So I was like 15, and I always think about it. And I taught myself also how to juggle randomly. I was like, I just want to learn how to juggle. Taught myself how to juggle.
It's an attention thing.
Yeah.
It's stealing our
Yeah.
attention, and I think like putting in like I think it's almost like a lost like thing. We're like almost scared of paying attention to things for hours.
yeah,
I'm involved in my church, and every year they do something like the Daniel fast, which is like no meat, no like it's everything's cut down. They started, not the church I go to now, but I used to go to a church where they started giving people the option of whether they would rather do the Daniel fast, which is essentially just fruits, vegetables, and water for like 21 days, or no access to your cell phone, but for like an hour a day. And everyone was choosing
Fast.
the fat, like the water. Like I'd rather just do like water from 6 to 6 than like not than not have like access to my like full
That's so
access to my
ridiculous,
phone.
yeah.
Then you ask people like, hey, would you rather use your phone or your wallet? And I think if you took that poll nowadays, like people like I
I got Apple Pay.
I have
Take my
Apple-
wallet.
I can get a new license. Like I can't afford to lose my phone. And then sometimes when like people lock up phones at shows, you can see the people who are like,
Anxious ridden, yeah.
Or parents too. A lot of
what, I'm
times
supposed to
parents are
talk
like,
to
"We
my
have a kid."
kids? Like what?
Yeah. A lot of people are like, we have a baby at home. And I'm like, you can feel it vibrate. If you need someone to open
What's-
it, they'll open it like that.
Well, it's also so weird because it feels like we're pretending like there was never a world without phones.
That's
I
the
know,
weirdest part.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it used to be like I mean like 30 years ago it'd just be like a
2007.
you'd have one
One
phone
phone.
in your home and then you'd walk out.
yeah.
You'd be like
And you have an answering machine you come home to.
totally.
Yeah.
I remember like doing the like printed out MapQuest with my family. And you're like, we're in such
Crazy.
a different time zone now.
Which was an improvement on the actual map.
You're
Yeah,
like,
that
this
was
is
the
easier.
future. Oh, perfect directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
I've
you
also,
see
I've
Jack in
never
the Box.
mailed I've never written a letter and mailed it. I've never sent a postcard.
All right, come on, man. Come on, brother.
What?
You ain't got to call me old on it.
I've just never done it. Like I never, and I feel like it would be so weird to like.
Well, it's so funny because like I'm reading this book right now. This one, Elizabeth Bishop, Robert Lowell, and it's these two poets who write each other for 30 years after they meet and kind of like fall for each other at this dinner like in the late 40s, and it is such a different like tether to reality because they're like analyzing their whole day or the thing they're going through, in and out of rehab, like wife committing suicide, like living in Spain, like scraping by with like grant money to put together like new collections, and like the way that they have to kind of like express or like think and ruminate on like what they've experienced, or like through these, you're getting to see through these letters, but like because it's asynchronous where it's like send, it takes like a month to get there, she doesn't hear back, she writes a letter, writes another letter, haven't heard from you, going through that. It's just such a more effortful and like tactile way of like thinking through like what you're doing and experiencing that text or like taking photos, I feel like doesn't even come close to like
Right.
how like gritty you're getting into like what are my thoughts and feelings in this situation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which a photo doesn't capture.
Yeah, Greg Giraldo had a really funny joke about like he found a textbook of old letters from the Civil War, and he's like a lot of these were like 16-year-old men, 17-year-old men that didn't really know how to like communicate, but the letters are like so well written. They're like, my dearest Maybelline, I'm fighting the fiercest fight on the battlefield for you. And this was in like 2006. He's like, now it's just a text message like, dear Tina, it's hot as fuck out here in the desert. Don't fuck anybody else. And it's like, that was like, don't fuck anybody. Yeah, like, just like the letters from like soldiers back in the day were so romantic and like passionate. And some of these people hadn't gone to ever school past like first grade.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing where it's just like it's the thing that goes back to the question of like, are we worse storytellers because we have access to a camera? And I think that's a clear like, because you really have to sit there, ruminate, think about how I feel about this, what happened, where was I, what did I think about this, and see that through.
Yeah.
That like just going doesn't do at all.
Yeah.
Even a typewriter, I feel like probably like took more like mental thought into.
Do any of you guys journal?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's because I think for me, like, journaling has been like such a nice way of like digesting like my thoughts, days, experiences, whatever.
Yeah. I have to think about how I feel, and it feels weird every time.
And I feel like for me, like, I can't even just think about it. I feel like I have a way better time when either I'm like writing it out and just seeing it and feeling it, or like in like therapy, just like talking it through with like a therapist or like a friend
Yeah.
is what like makes the meaning out of like a situation. Like, I always say this with like movies. Like, I feel like I don't really still know all my full feelings on a movie until like I talk about it with a friend.
Yeah.
Because then I see where like, and I think that's not only movies, but I think that's even like in meaningful experiences, like a concert or like a weird run-in. Like, there's something just so much more like nitty gritty in it that you can find by just like actually talking through it.
I think there's a disassociation that is easier to access, because I'll think about my feelings more than I feel them. Because somebody be like, "How does that feel?" And I'm like, "I don't know.
Let me see.
I said I was angry."
Yeah.
like I thought, isn't that it? And it's like, well, say more. And it's like, oh, well, I was disappointed. And I was frustrated. I was upset. Like, then you have to like get to all this. You ever seen the emotions wheel? It's like that. Have y'all seen that? It's like a wheel of emotions. It's like I guess a fancier name for it, but it's like the emotion wheel, and like my wife showed it to me. It's like 7 emotions that you could like thoroughly access, but then like behind this is like 30 emotions for all of those. So it's like, all right, I'm sad, but it's also like I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated, I'm hurt. It's like all of the, so it's like I'm had to learn how to like not say the easy one. You have to like get to the other one so you can actually have the conversation. And I feel like that's what even like writing a letter is. Like, getting a handwritten letter from someone is like taking the time. Like, if you think you're really pissed off, getting it off in a voice note is easy. But like getting it off in a letter is like if somebody sent you a pissed off letter, their brain took the time to articulate fury at that level. Like that's next level. Like, and I feel like I'm more prone to like keep a handwritten letter than I am to like just like, oh, I'm saving this voice note. It's like everything is like microwave now.
Yeah. Going off the emotion wheel thing, I went to art school for college, and like I remember I was so annoyed because in the beginning, the first year was they drilled into every student, no matter what your major was, like how to interpret art and criticize art. Because so many times you're like, oh, I don't like that painting. But it's like, why don't you like that painting? And you have to explain why you don't like it or why you do like it. And like the entire freshman year was just us practicing that. And I thought it was so annoying because I'm like, why would you guys let us into art school if you don't think we know how to interpret fucking art? But then there's been so many times where I've been with someone after a movie and they're like, I didn't like it. And I'm like, why didn't you like it? And they're like, I just didn't like it. And then I'm like, but explain why. And then they're like, I don't like how it was all blue. And I'm like, oh, that's why you don't like A24 movies and you're more of a Marvel person. And like that explains why. But like, it's really interesting. I feel like we did do that emotion wheel thing in college.
Yeah.
With that, where it was like, once you started talking about all the emotions that are behind one emotion, like, okay, it makes you sad. Why does it make you sad? Because it stresses you out, and blah, blah, blah. So.
And I think there's like a power that comes with like being able to articulate. And so, and I think like, because we're able to lean on like photos, or like we're able to lean on someone's socials, and we're like, oh, well, this does it. This is the thing that like is our glimpse into that moment and experience. Like this photo from that concert tells the whole story.
Yeah.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. But I think that it's like man, it's like a map of like California. You're like, as much as this does represent California, it is so much more than this.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable how piss poor this is to the thing. And back to like the photo of the moon, whatever, you're just sort of like, I don't it's a sliver of the actual experience. And I think a lot of people have like replaced the full experience with the photo and be like, that's what it is.
If you were president and you could outlaw phones being somewhere, where would you? Is there a place where you'd be like, no phones are allowed there?
So okay, so this is interesting. I feel like I'm on the side of, I think if I could affect like legislature
yeah,
and have social media turn off at 6 p.m. every day.
Yeah. And landlines still be a thing, maybe, or whatever. Just in case, like, but then it's scary, because then what happens if someone gets shot by a cop after 6 p.m.?
Yeah.
Then they don't.
Hey, boys, it's 5:58.
There was the news cycle. You would wait and you'd watch the news tomorrow, or like
Yeah.
the stock market.
Yeah.
Something crazy
Yeah.
happens in the world. The stocks open at 7 a.m. You know.
Yeah.
Like that's how social media could be.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to self-police, right? Because when we do, we like it. When we find the right mix and balance to like.
China shuts off TikTok at like 10 p.m.
Interesting.
That's when it gets good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, why would we be so mad about that? Because we're being told what to do, I guess. But ultimately, now you get to do something else with your time. It's like helping you not do the thing that is fucking ruining your life, you know?
Gen
Yeah.
Z would storm the Capitol.
They'll have their own January 6th.
Well, there's
for
certain
Off
TikTok.
the announcement alone.
They're doing yondering now in schools. Like all public schools
Yes.
in New York
Oh,
City have
no
to
way.
yonder your phone.
That's fantastic.
They don't do that in Jersey. That's cold.
We were just talking about how different schools are now. Like, I don't even know what it would be like to be in elementary school with technology constant.
I remember seeing my first iPhone sophomore year of high school and being like, whoa.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
fake
yeah.
beer drinking app. I'm like,
Safari. I remember just like my cousin had it, and I had a MacBook, so I knew what Safari looked like on a laptop. But we were in the car, and she was like, "Check this out," like, and Googled something on Safari. And I remember being like, "What the fuck? You have Safari on?" I mean, it's weird though, because I remember like on like Verizon like keyboard phones, like you could have the internet, but that was like so expensive
yeah,
or whatever.
no one did.
But then, like, when the iPhone came out, you could just Google, like, an actor's name or from a movie or something. It's insane. And remember when people would, like, wait? That was viral. Like, waiting in line for the new iPhone to be on the news and stuff.
Yeah. Like, our thing was just like a Nextel chirp chirp.
Yeah.
Like, just a glorified walkie-talkie where we could be like, hello, can you hear me? Whoa. Like, that was, like, it. Like, the idea of, like, being able to, like, record ourselves every day. Like, I don't know if I ever took a picture in high school.
Well, it's weird to think about because it's like Instagram has been around since iPhones. And then, but you go down and you look, like, I look at like my post from whatever, like 2012, 2013, very different vibe.
Yeah.
Like does not feel as weirdly, doesn't feel like anything like the social media from today times. And I don't know what that is.
I feel like, well, when Instagram in 2012, when Instagram came, well, it was like 2010, that's when Facebook was still like the spot where you posted your everyday photos.
Yeah, or like the statuses all the time.
Yeah,
like
statuses.
Jack Fink
it's
is
weird how it
eating
all
cereal.
It's weird how it all
Yeah.
broke down. Like, Facebook was great because it was statuses and photos, but then like Instagram was just photos and Twitter was just statuses, and then
Yeah.
they like beat out Facebook. You would think that Facebook would stay number one because it was the combination of everything.
And then everyone ended up chasing TikTok.
Yeah, now it's videos. And on Twitter, to be honest, like I
Snapchat,
scroll
too.
and I don't really read tweets
Oh, interesting.
that don't have a video or photo. Like I just look
so
at the
crazy.
ones with the photos and the videos. Now, honestly, I don't even go on Twitter because it's like snuff. It's like the dark web.
Yeah, it's crazy.
like it's too much like porn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys. I never used Reddit. I've never used. I will try to. It's so confusing to look at for me.
See, I feel like I love Reddit, and I think what it is that it decenters your identity from your profile and what you do on there. So it's not, there's no like status chasing on Reddit.
Yeah.
You're just really coming to like terms with like content as it is, and it's not like there's some sort of like, oh, like this guy is like so hot though, and he like all his stuff is like he's chasing some sort of weird. They,
Yeah.
I like
which
it.
is what I like about Reddit.
It's I think it's a kind of social media that I do enjoy better because it's helpful. You know?
Yes.
But as a caveat, so many people, especially comics, will like shit on Reddit. Like, you're a piece of shit if you're a Reddit person. And I don't understand. I mean,
I don't get it either.
Maybe it is a thing. Maybe there's like a lot of bad people on Reddit because, like, yeah, maybe it's more anonymous and a certain section of society could be on there. But like generally, I just need to fix something, or I need to get a real review that's not bought and paid for by
Yes.
somebody.
Yeah.
And I can actually listen to a human being talk, or even like a really great AI. Maybe who knows who's talking to me, but it doesn't sound like an ad, and it
Yeah.
doesn't sound like I'm being sold some bullshit. So that's why I like Reddit, you know, and I think that has like more legs of where we were trying to head with social media, you know.
And I also think like the point, like I feel like also the main reason people got onto like Instagram was to like see their friends,
Yeah.
and now that's gone away.
It was
And it's like a
cool new
content thing where you're just getting spoon-fed random creators constantly, like TikTok, and it's because they just chased TikTok, and then kind of like betrayed what
Yeah.
they were there for. And it's also weird because I feel like I talk to like, it's so funny because I think about like my parents and like older generation's relationship with like Facebook. They love it, I absolutely love it. And then I feel like I'm thinking, I'm like, are millennials about to enter this phase with Instagram?
Yeah.
And Gen Z is just fully not on Instagram,
Guaranteed.
and we're like the only people using Instagram.
100%.
I think so, right?
100%.
That's what we're entering. It's already happened, right?
You're talking about Instagram online, and everyone's like, what the?
You're like, what's Instagram?
There's also like a point. There's just like a party that feels in control. Well, I think nowadays on social media, there's not like a sense that you're in control. There's a party that feels like you have to post.
Yeah, the have to post, and then also like you aren't. I also don't like how like not in control you are in regards to your consumption. Because it's like you're getting spoon fed a random thing each swipe.
Yeah.
It's not up to you. Whereas on YouTube, you can at least like click and be like, I'm gonna watch that, and then I'm gonna watch this, and then I want to watch that. With TikTok and Instagram, you're just sitting there being like,
Yeah.
anything.
I also
tried.
miss on back in the day on Instagram, the Explore page used to be the same for everyone. So if you got on the
Right,
Explore
right.
page, you were like lit that day. You
Yeah.
were everyone who had Instagram saw you. And I think that was it was because
Yeah.
I remember
remember,
in
yeah.
high school my sister did get on it and everyone was like, dude, what the fuck? Your sister's on the Explore page.
Wow, that's great.
And you also used to have that tab where you could see what people were liking, which was
Oh,
kind
right.
of like a snitch type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny how they also get rid of a lot of the things that we all really secretly liked. Like you could see people's following, who they were following in order. They got rid of that. And I think going back to the Explore page thing, it was like you saw your friend. I know what happened with it. Like, I'm not saying I know what happened, but Mark Zuckerberg fucking hates other apps that compete with him in terms of ad money. So he bought Instagram to like and tanked it. I remember the week he tanked the algorithm where it used to be you saw your friends post an order, it would run out, and he changed it because he wanted everyone to go back to fucking Facebook, and it just didn't work out. And now that's why he fucking hates TikTok, because he can't beat TikTok in terms of ad money. So that's why he's doing Reels. It's funny because I have more success on TikTok. So I used to be on TikTok every morning, like almost as a comic. Kind of like my mentor used to tell me on late night when he worked on Jay Leno. He's like, every morning I had to wake up, read the newspaper, and write jokes for the monologue. And now, like, on my job is I wake up, look at TikTok, try to find something to talk shit on or talk about pop culture wise. Like, that's my news. It's kind of fucked, but it's like I have to go on. But yeah, now I go on Reels. I found myself like recently being like, holy shit, I'm on Reels, not TikTok. This is so bizarre. Or what's weird is like seeing it on Reels and then like 3 hours later you're on TikTok and you see the same video and you're still watching it. I'm like, I watched this. What the fuck's wrong with me? That's when I'm like, dude, I gotta get out of this.
Yeah.
And also getting paid, monetization. I mean, like if you're like I'm monetized on my social media, so it's like now I that's why my dream is being a surfer with no phone. It's like my whole goal is to get the next job so I don't have to do social media anymore. I always say like if I got on a TV show, I'm not gonna fucking post on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
And Tim is one of those people that's like, fuck that. Being an actor is dead. Now it's all about having the Patreon, having the monetized TikTok, having no one that can tell you what to do, and then you can go sell out a club, and your minimum is $13,000, and you walk away a weekend with $50,000 from a fucking club or some shit like that.
Now, I will say some of my favorite follows are people I would have never, ever known about if it wasn't for like them and just a cell phone. And like there's people who I follow who are like cooking in like the desert, or like, I don't know if you guys know that it's just one guy, he has no teeth, and he just sings with all the passion in his heart. And he just sings the days of the week. Do you know this guy?
No,
Where he's like,
but
Monday, Tuesday. I love this guy with my whole heart. Like, I would be starstruck if I met him.
1, 2, 3,
Yes,
4, 5,
yes,
6,
that
7,
guy.
8.
I would be so starstruck if I met that dude.
Yeah.
I've met Michelle Obama and been like, what up, bro? But if I met him, oh man, that'd make my day.
Yeah.
I think because everyone has cameras now and can become like a star or the biggest sensation in no time, I think it's we don't have really any semblance of like, I think it's ruining celebritydom. It's just like mattering less and less, and what that means is just like more and more meaningless.
Yeah.
Because like your nephew could become a TikTok superstar next week.
What is a celebrity though?
A known person, I believe. And like,
Yeah.
at that simplest form.
And I think I feel like now more than ever we're seeing people who like blow up only to their audience, and it's like they know like I feel like there's so many comics now that I'm like they're humongous to their fans, and literally no one else. Like they're like, unless they're like in mainstream like TV movies, they're really only speaking to like one channel.
Yeah, I know a comic that has is about to hit 10 million followers on Instagram, theaters and everything, but can still like walk into a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Or I feel like maybe 5 years ago, like if you had 10 million followers, you're like Kevin Hart. Like you can't fucking walk anywhere. That is weird. It's also weird, like the number thing is so off now. Like people can have 100,000 followers. Like I could post a reel and it does crazy numbers. If I post a photo, it's gonna like tank. And I'm like almost like don't want to post. That's what Mark Zuckerberg did now. He's made it so like now once you get sucked into the numbers game on reels, then you don't want to post photos. It's like bizarre.
Yeah, but why do you care about numbers? Just make your page cool.
Because to be honest, you know when I've said this, working at the Improv, I learned this, and I think maybe this isn't for every comedy club, but a lot of the comics that are letting headline rooms, if you have to have 100,000 followers on Instagram. I think your Instagram following is your credit score almost. And here's the thing. For someone like me, I've been doing stand-up for years, so when I get that 100K and I get the opportunity, like I just got to my first headlining opportunity at Dallas Comedy Club. Yeah. Like I know I'm gonna be better than the other kid who's a YouTuber with the same following as me, who's like never been to an open mic. So there's so many people I see come into the main room that they're like a YouTuber, doctor, comedy sketch guy that's never been to a fucking open mic, never done the lab or a room with 10 people in it, and like they're struggling they're having gimmicks on stage where they're like, we're gonna open up to the audience now and stuff. And like, so I just decided like, I'm gonna hit the ground. I care about the 100K on Instagram so I can get the opportunities to headline clubs and stuff. It sounds sad, but I feel like if you work on both, you actually work on the craft of stand up and you work on the following count and the likes. Cause like, you know, when you talk to a brand and they're giving you a brand deal, they're basing it, you have to give them all the access to your social media. Like, there's casting networks?
Yeah.
There's a whole fucking website now for that called Phone, where like you put in your fucking password and shit, and then your agents now your social media agents are just like a casting network. So they're sending you out on these things and they're looking through everyone's following count and going, all right, I'll give you $3,000 for a video, but this guy who has more followers, same video, I'll give him 10K. So it's like, you know, I want to make money, make it as least hack as possible, as least sell out as possible. That's why I think a lot of the sketch people, like Drewski, for example, like a lot of my favorite comics, I hate to say it right now, are people that maybe aren't stand-ups. Like Drewski, I think, is like one of the best comics right now. He's doing the funniest shit that everyone's thinking of. The fucking mega church video, that was like so funny.
But here's also the power of the phone on that end, and also the opposite end is like the phone is so powerful now that back in the day, somebody like Drewski would make that skit, and it's like, all right, well, we have to get you on Saturday Night Live. Now we got to get you on Mad TV. And Drewski's like,
I don't need it.
For what?
I got commercial. Like there was like an order of things.
5K 3 times a month, twice a month.
Yeah,
You're like,
Timothy Chalamet just went on his show. Like that's the same thing as Timothy Chalamet going on SNL. Like he's his own Lorne Michaels.
There's a path to me hosting the Golden Globes that doesn't require network TV for me.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly speaking.
Yeah.
And even on the consumer side now, like I've been doing comedy long enough to say that I've seen social media change it, and it's cold now seeing people who aren't over 30 who are like, I going to my first show because I consume this person's content so much. I've just never been to a comedy show, and it's like, if somebody's like 18, 19, 20, 21, I'm like, it's your first comedy show? I totally understand. Somebody's like 35, like, this is my first show. This was great. And it's like, well, so what got you here? Oh, so I saw him on TikTok. And it's like,
I think that goes back to kind of like the mass psychosis and like we're hypnotized by that number.
Yeah.
We're like, this means everything. And it's like the same thing with just like the meaningfulness of what that we attach meaningfulness to that number that doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't. It just straight up doesn't. It's like they're good at speaking to an algorithm and like speaking to trends and creating viral moments, and now they're able to like use that to be like the barometer of like talent is delusional.
Oh no, it's not talent. It's money. They don't give a shit about talent.
Yeah.
Your
Of
100K
course,
doesn't
yeah.
mean you're talented. No.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I'm saying though.
Right.
Like a lot of the clubs, like a lot of the comics that do the big comedy clubs that are like, they're just money pits. They don't give a fuck.
Right.
They're not built for comedy. Like
Yeah.
some of the rooms are like to see 800 people in OC, and like it's built next to a Dave and Buster's and shit. They don't give a fuck about comedy. That's why I do like clubs with like low ceilings, dark rooms and shit like that. Yeah, that's why like the Comedy Cellar is great. The Comedy Store is great. The main room at the Improv on a regular showcase night's great because it's like those are just really good talented comics. But yeah, there's a lot of like. That's why I just decided like it's on you to be funny and you to be talented. They'll give you the opportunity based on the number, but it's you to follow through.
100%. Yeah. It would just be nice to have a world where, like I was saying, like someone didn't play the game. You know, they just said fuck it and did it their own way, and because the social media companies and the clubs and all of the promoters and whoever, they want to play this game, but we're letting them play the game because you're going into that hand, you know.
mm-hmm.
But you can say fuck it and really like curate your social media the way you want to do it. Put your own persona out there. Don't kowtow to the fucking ads. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say I don't want to make $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever. But if you're playing that game, you're letting that game continue to grow. You know.
Well, it's weird because then I think about artists who passed away in obscurity.
Yeah.
Vincent Van Gogh. Like, there's so many people who just like were not recognized until much later, and I wonder if that is a thing of the past.
If you have true talent, it would be very hard not to be noticed. You know, I think.
But like, let's say you're not on social media.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's, like,
it's
really hard.
very weird.
But someone like Vincent Van Gogh was not trying to not be noticed, right? He was
Yeah, of
actively
course.
trying to be.
Totally.
Yes. So someone like him in today's world would be on social media.
I agree.
Yeah.
But then I think, like, I mean, I feel like I know, Ethan Simmons Patterson out in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Insanely funny monster at the Cellar, not on socials at all, nothing. And you're like, and he's someone I keep tabs on just because I'm curious. I'm like, how far can you get right now without social media?
I love that.
It's exciting
I wanna check
experiment.
out
I
this
want to
man
see
now.
what's going to happen. Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's just like, do people just disappear? We're getting a caller.
Well, West number 1.
Press 1 to send a voicemail.
Hey Wes, how you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Hi, it's West number 1, longtime host, first time caller.
How was the game?
Devastating, but awesome.
Perfect. We'd love to hear your.
We did lose, but we barely lost. Legendary season.
Congratulations. We're all very happy for you. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say, of course, Jack is a Redditor that journals. Obviously,
Okay,
we
what
all
the
saw
fuck?
that coming. Also, you know what? I was going to say what was weird when you guys were talking about the shift of, sort of Snapchat and our millennials, basically the old people with Facebook and Instagram, is this is the first time ever where Gen Z is going backwards to an app. Like, millennials were the ones that started Snapchat.
Oh, yeah.
And now Gen Z took it over. And I think, it's not like Gen Z's going, or millennials went back to MySpace or something like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first time we've, gone back to an app that already existed. But to answer the original question is, how does having a camera affect everyone? It makes us me at least, way less fun and funny. I love dancing and goofing around for my friends, doing stupid stuff, whatever it is, putting underwear on your head and running through the street. And now we just never do that because it's like, do you want your boss and grandchildren and parents to see that? And so for me, at least, it makes me way less fun and less outgoing, I guess, or less likely to take a chance on doing something really dumb and goofy for my 4 friends that are there, because there's a chance that the entire world is now watching, which is a bit of a bummer.
There's a kind of a weird sense of permanence from actions now. I think because of cameras.
100%. I mean, if somebody films anything you do, it's not a sense of permanence. It is permanent.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they delete it, it's like, is it really gone? It was.
Yeah, it's just
it
in their
was
deleted
Skynet.
folder until they pull it back out.
Yeah, exactly. It's in their deleted folder. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
interesting.
anyway, so
Well, I also
do
think
you guys
that
feel like it's made you less goofy or not? But I'll let you go.
we appreciate you calling in, Wes. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Yeah,
Bye. Bye. I feel like the backwards thing into Snapchat, I think it's because it is just like your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, something about something I feel too old for is live streaming, like Twitch.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine that there's people that are like, I'm giving Kai Cenat another sub, like $5, $5, like, because they're sitting there for 3 hours and people are just tipping them.
Yeah.
Just like non-stop, and it's like little kids. Also, like I didn't have access to a fucking credit card until
Yeah.
I had to ask my
How
parents.
about it?
Until I had one.
Yeah, like,
How about it?
Yeah, so like how the fuck are these kids just like
It's like street performers getting tips,
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
think the
never
thing
thought
with
about it
the
like
live
that.
streaming or whatever is just like this weird. I think because things feel so inauthentic and like disconnected from reality, that I think it's like an easy way to kind of feel like, well, this is real. This is happening right
Yeah,
now.
same thing with like OnlyFans and that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can get porn for free everywhere, but these people want a connection with real human beings.
Yes, and the live cam thing. Well, that's like my thing. Is I'm like the porn industry has gotten to everything first, and live streaming is a big one. And I think it's just like being able to like connect with someone immediately and know there's no like weird filter or like
Yeah.
oh, this is like some sort of like set, like especially at a time where people have such manicured everything. I think
Yeah.
like getting an insight into like, oh, this is like a Be Real live thing basically people
Yeah.
really like, and that's because I think everything's just gotten so fragmented and like muddied with just like fakeness.
That was one of my first real old moments, is seeing the Miles Morales or the people who'd be like, yummy, wow. Like, thanks for the, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what? What's,
Yeah.
somebody explain it to me. What's going,
Yeah.
what do they do? Like, what's the, they in
Something-
character? Like, I don't
something
understand
I
it.
talked to this one guy who's like a musical artist, and he does Twitch. He's like big on Twitch. So I was trying to get into Twitch, so I had a meeting with him and talk to him, and it was like the saddest meeting I ever left. Because I was like, okay, like he was like, yeah, I'm more just like I can teach you like how to like do the setup. And I'm like, okay, but like what keeps people watching? Like, do you cook up beats when you're on Twitch? And he's like, nah, usually when I do that and I stop talking to people in the chat, then like everyone stops watching.
Wow.
So I'm like, he's like, basically, he's like, he admitted to me, he's like, I fucking hate doing Twitch. He's like, you just have to keep talking to the people in the thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're famous, there's some Twitch people that can like make a beat and that's why people are watching. But he was like, no, like, so like as stand-ups, like if we wanted to start Twitch, like, and you're like, I'm gonna do 20 minutes of stand-up on Twitch every night. In a year from now, you might be making a shit ton of money on Twitch, but you're like, yeah, I don't do stand-up anymore because once I start doing stand-up, they stop watching.
Yeah.
But like they just want to hear me roast them in the comments.
Oh,
It's like weird. And I was also thinking about just comics, like I can't wrap my head around being a comic, like the comics that are in the 70s, 80s that were just comics. They weren't like roast battle, like on the roast on Comedy Central. And they just had an album before tapings too. Like when you're just like your album was in radio or fucking Best Buys and stuff. It was literally just through word of mouth. Cause like I won't download someone's album on Apple Music. If I just see the album cover, like I'm not just gonna fucking download it. I'm gonna either listen to it or someone has to recommend it.
Yeah.
So like being in the store and not knowing who Richard Pryor was in movies, but like I'm trying to think of a comic that wasn't in movies or stuff like that that's like famous.
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory, like
Close
not
enough.
knowing who that is and you're in the grocery store and you see his album on the shelf, like what made someone pick that up, buy it, go home and decide like, oh, I wonder if I'll like this or not. Like that's
Yeah.
so bizarre. Or like renting a movie at Best Buy.
I think our like media landscape
Blockbuster.
back then was so much more narrower, but because it was so narrow, it was way more impactful. I'm good friends with this older comic, Dom Herrera, and like Dom was like, I did the Tonight Show and then toured the rest of my career.
Yeah. Like you have to have a taste of the artist before you invest in an hour-long thing of them.
I mean, imagine if Richard Pryor had set himself on fire trying to smoke crack and then had to get on Twitch and talk about it before he filmed Live at the Sunset Strip. Like that would be the expectation.
Now, yeah.
Him
you'd
lighting
have to.
himself on fire is Will Smith and Chris Rock. Like that's the amount of like cultural relevance that moment has. And imagine 3 days going by after he lit himself on fire and being like, you're losing momentum. Versus like, hey, 11 months from now, I'll talk about it in like one of the stand-up specials that'll be like revered forever. Like our expectation for what we're owed as consumers is actually kind of insane.
Yeah, when it's because it's the nonstop, constant output that we're like now spoiled to, so it's expected of everyone. It's back to the thing about like it feels like I have to post.
But it's not even, I'm not in control, which I think is the house phone thing that you were saying earlier, which is like, back in the day, if I don't give you my house phone number,
Yeah, that's it.
nothing's coming into my house that I don't know about. And now I can be on Instagram, and if I put my phone down at the wrong time, my phone can watch your story without me choosing it. Because it's just at the end of someone else's story. Like, you could be like, yo, you watched all of my stories yesterday. And I could be like, I promise you, I did not see anything you put on there. And it's just the way that it is. So it's like, I can be outside dancing and having a great time, and somebody can record me from their car passing by. And then someone can be like, yo, they're roasting you all. Like, they're killing you in the comments, bro. Like, you're getting destroyed. It's like, what? And it could be like a complete roasting session on a video that I didn't post. I had nothing to do with. Like, I could have been having the time of my life. I could be celebrating the
I feel
craziest
like
thing
it
in my life.
like it's the everyone having phones and cameras releases so much control over your own autonomy as a person, because you're like, okay, well, it's out of my hands because someone like it's so funny. My brother has this friend, and it was like deep BLM COVID times, and it was like one of the first big rallies, and he's out there, and I want to say, who's the big Bay Area white rapper? What's his name? I cannot remember for the life of me. It's gonna kill me if I can't remember. But he's at the rally or whatever, and randomly gets my friend or like our mutual friend like in view, and my buddy, he's making a joke. He's bald. He goes, "Bald lives matter,"
Crazy.
and it comes off in the video like he goes, "All lives matter." Video goes viral. He loses his job. He moves states.
sorry.
Has to delete everything.
I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it is.
It's insane. It's literally like, it is hilarious. But it's one of those things where you're like, man, that's tough just because like they got this video of you.
He was one pronounced to be away from having all his dreams come true.
It's tough.
Dang. I'm Googling Bay Area white rapper, by the way.
I know. It's
I feel
someone's.
like I've seen this video.
It's insane. I'll find it.
It's
and I'll
like
share it.
G-Eazy.
G-Eazy, yes. Nice, good work.
How did your phone find it before mine?
I didn't even look it up. I just was like, thinking,
got
I
it,
was
yeah.
like, is it Macklemore or Jeezy? Would be the
Yeah.
type to be like, I'm at a Black Lives Matter rally.
Yeah.
Take a photo of me here
This is going to look so powerful. on Instagram.
on the gram. Yeah.
All the lives matter. Such an honest
Just to
mistake.
go out on. All right. Well, thank you guys for doing the show. This was awesome. We'll be
This
back
was
next
fun.
Monday. Rock and roll. Next Monday, we're answering the question, are we too comfortable to demand change? Call in and let us know. Thanks for joining. Night.